Everybody, happy Friday. Welcome aboard. It's good to see you guys. Scooby-Doo, good to see you. D and Only One, good to see you. Guy in a Plane, welcome aboard. 757 Dude, now they all come out of the woodworks. Snatto Mobile, happy Friday. Mike Zula Hotel, happy Friday. Good to see you guys. J10GB's in the house. Anybody else I've missed? What mod do you use for moving trees? I don't know. It's part of the scenery. I have no idea. I have no idea what's causing those to happen. I don't even know if, like, I don't know if they're reacting to the wind or if they're just moving. But the wind, actually, the windsock is blowing pretty good over there. So my guess is they're doing at least a little bit of reaction to the wind. Yeah, Stealth Bob, good to see you, man. Microsoft Gamer, welcome aboard. I'll go for happy Friday. I just popped the microphone. Yeah, we're back. We're back. It was vacation. I was on vacation for 10 days. I went to Indianapolis. I went to play golf and go flying with a friend of mine. Took my buddy up for the very first time in a Cessna 172. He had never been up before in a general aviation aircraft. I think he had a good time. I think he'll go back up again. He did get a little freaked out. He said by the forward slip. I was a little high and fast coming in on final, so I slipped the airplane like you're supposed to. And I guess he was just like, what is going on? Like reaching for everything around him because like the plane's doing one thing and we're going a different direction and all that. And yeah, I don't think he was expecting, or I don't think he was exactly prepared for that to happen. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, it was a good flight. We didn't get to do none of the flying that I had anticipated to do is what we got to do. But there was a good story to come out of it. And we'll talk about that once we get up in the air for sure. I went to the Drum Corps International Finals on that Saturday, and that was a hell of a lot of fun. Oh my God, it's like, if you guys are Drum Corps fans, this was the best year of Drum Corps in like 15 years. I swear to God, it was amazing. The top 12 shows, all of them were amazing. All of them were fantastic. And it was such an awesome year to be there. So that was great. I then traveled for almost 25 hours. The airline lost my bag and all sorts of other unpleasantness that comes with traveling this godforsaken airline. And I made it. I got to Portugal. I spent my week in Portugal. We had a good time, and then we came back. And I got back late on Monday. Late. I guess I got back at like 8 or 9 on Monday. And now we're here. We're here. Lost Kiwis here. Good to see you, man. Happy Friday, sir. Land 742's in the house. So is ISO McTig. Drew Simulator Wick, welcome aboard. Anna Gaming, welcome aboard. Happy Friday, guys. Yeah, so it's been a good recovery week. We'll go with that. And I'm super stoked to be here again. Navarine's here for 3 months. He says, I'm here. Glad to have you here, Navarine. Thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Scooby-Doo 1558's here for 5 months. It's only 5 months, or it's 5 months, he should say, and he loves the streams. Thank you very much, Scooby-Doo. I appreciate it. And J10GB here for the long haul, man. 8 months. Mr. GB, I think you might be the first 8 month resub, man. So J10GB, thank you, Justin, for your continued support. He says 8 months of beer. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it. Speedbird 007, welcome aboard. I was at the DCI finals this year, too. I can't believe I missed you. Well, there were a lot of people there, to be fair. And I think I even said, Speedbird, before the finals, if you're going to go to finals, let me know. And we should try to meet up. Because I totally was hanging out, having a beer, right before finals. Like my buddy and I were at a little pub that's about a mile or so from downtown. Just kind of hanging out, killing time, having beer and naps and just whatever. And it would have been awesome to meet up with some folks. But I go every year. So if you go next year, we'll see you next year maybe. J-Ball, welcome aboard. Luis Monza, welcome aboard. Happy Friday, guys. WBS52 says back and ready for more. He's here for 8 months. He's number 2 on the 8 months. Thank you very much for your continued support, Mr. WBS. Cheers. WBS52 got a picture of my airplane as it was coming in. Let me go. I gotta track this one down because this is pretty cool. I want to show you how ugly this SATA plane is. These old A310s that we came in on. I think you emailed them to me. Let me see here. Yes, here it is. Oh yes. Oh yes. That is not the aeroplane. That's the Oh yeah, here we go. This is the one I want. Nope. Come on. There's pictures in here somewhere. There we go. That's the beautiful plane right there. So we'll just save that image. Open that sucker up. What? Your computer does not know how to open images. I have literally tons of applications for opening and editing images. Anyway, this is WBS52 was at Boston when I came in on Friday, and he caught this amazing picture of the plane that we came in on. And you can see just the sheer line. Like you can see all the freaking planes that are lined up over here. You can see the planes that are coming in on final. There was a whole nother line of planes coming in on final. Like there's so many planes in Boston. And then here comes this ugly ass A310 rolling in, man. Like, these things are dinosaurs, okay? They're Airbuses with yokes. They're Airbuses with steam gauges. And it feels like this plane's going to fall apart in the sky. Like, it just makes noises, it creaks, it sounds like a Southwest 737-300, man. Like, it's crazy. So, SATA sucks. SATA really is, I think, the most terrible, awful, godforsaken, horrible airline you could ever be forced to fly. I'm sure that there's worse out there, but as far as what I have to fly on a regular basis, I hate SATA. Hate it. But I don't have any other choice. I have to fly them to get to my vacation destination. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for taking that picture, Mr. WBS. Norbert, welcome aboard. Who else we got in here? Ghost Rider, good to see you, Jonathan. McShiggity Pilot, welcome aboard. Good to see you, McShiggity Pilot. Happy Friday, sir. Calling 310 a dinosaur is disrespectful to the dinosaur. Yeah. So, WBS, thank you, by the way, for your continued support. Cheers. Anyway, Aviation 380 is here for 3 months. He gets his race's seat. That 310, though, now you mentioned it, you should fly SATA and X-Plane. Nah, dude. If we fly SATA and X-Plane, we'll forget half the bags back at the airport. We'll get to the destination 4 hours late. And, oh, by the way, it's the wrong destination because we just decided to go somewhere else. I don't know. Like, don't fly SATA, man. Like, unless you absolutely have to, don't fly SATA Airlines. Anyway, today, let's move forward to this. Today, we're going to be flying this plane right here. This is not SATA. This is the Eclipse 550 NG by Aerobask. I kind of went back and forth on what I wanted to fly today. And McShiggity Pilot, thank you for 3 months, man. He gets his race to see as well. What a ride it's been. More to come for sure, man. And there's another one coming up here. Seranian. S-Iranian? Seranian? Sir-Anian? I'm going to go with Sir-Anian. Thank you very much for your support. Welcome to the Rhythm Monk Club. Cheers. McShiggity Pilot, thank you again, by the way. Cheers to you. Max, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday, Max. TAP doesn't fly to Portugal from Boston. They do. They do. And if you're going to go to Portugal, you should always fly TAP. However, if you're going to go to the Azores, you're stuck flying SATA from Boston. There's like 8 airlines that fly to the Azores from Europe, so I could go over there and fly Ryanair. And Ryanair would probably be a better experience than flying SATA. I could go over there and fly TAP. I could go over there and fly a couple other airlines. But from the United States, our only choice to go to the Azores is SATA. And they're awful. Absolutely awful. Anyway, this airplane, like I said, is not awful. It's 550 NG by Aerobask. And I went back and forth on what to fly. I was thinking about airliners, but I've had a lot of problems with airliners. I honestly haven't had a lot of time to sit at my computer and like update programs, update files, update planes, any of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to find a plane that I knew would work, that would be relatively painless, and that would still be somewhat entertaining. And my screen is flashing for no damn good reason. That's interesting. So I picked the Eclipse. And along with the Eclipse, what's kind of fun is that I got 2 new sceneries. So Nick from the org sent me a couple of sceneries tonight. The first one is this Half Moon Bay scenery. And my God, guys, this thing is incredible. I highly recommend checking out this Half Moon Bay scenery because this thing looks amazing. Like, it looks so awesome. And I'm super stoked to be rocking this. And then we're flying into Sedona later tonight. Sedona's some new scenery on the org. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings about my first impressions on that, but we'll kind of see what happens once we've had a couple of drinks and we get out there. Quantidin's here for 8 months. Thank you very much, Quantidin. Well, I might as well join the 8-month train. Glad you had a great vacation. So awesome to see you back. Thank you for your continued support, sir. Cheers. It's good to be back. I have no idea who this was made by. No. I'll have links later on. Like, I'll put links in the description and whatnot on YouTube. But I don't recall who this was made by. They're both brand new sceneries. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ernie the Cat, welcome aboard, Ernie. Happy Friday, sir. Owen Bradley's in the house. Good to see you, man. Eclipse is fun to fly. It is fun to fly. The thing that's interesting about the Eclipse is it's not really like what I would call a fan favorite. Like, I don't necessarily see a ton of people come out here because, oh my God, he's flying the Eclipse. I want to see that. Wow. No, they come out. But whatever. I love the hell out of this plane. This is still one of my favorite planes. Yeah, that was the only fatal crash for SATA though. Like, that was the only fatal crash for SATA, so like they got a pretty good record in that regard, but they have lost my bag already. They lost my bag on the way onto my vacation, and they literally couldn't find it. It took them a day to get me my freaking bag. Somebody sent me an email. Oh yeah, WBS sent me an email. Dr. J. N.A., good to see you, man. I come out for anything that isn't a tube liner. Awesome. Well, I didn't feel like doing a tube liner tonight. I thought about the IXEG, and then I thought about doing some more GA stuff. You know what? Let's find our happy medium. Let's find the middle ground. So we're going to be flying the Eclipse tonight. This is one of my absolute favorite planes in all of X-Plane. I cannot speak highly enough about this. If it is not in your hangar, I truly feel like it should be. And now, I guess on the topic of full disclosure, I do speak regularly with the developer. I am one of the beta testers for Aerobask. I did not pay for this airplane. I had a pre-release copy and all that stuff that goes along with it, but I still would be happily pay for this airplane without question. I bought most of their planes before I became a beta tester. But yeah. So with all that out of the way, let's go flying, right? So we're gonna be flying down to Santa Monica tonight. Let me get this thing a little lower here. There we go. So flying down to Santa Monica tonight for the first flight. Second flight's gonna be Santa Monica out to Sedona. Let's pop this up real quick. Got some 4-flight action going. So coming out of Half Moon Bay. Half Moon Bay is here next to the San Francisco, kind of next to the San Francisco area. It's actually kind of like a neat little airport. You go over the mountains and then find yourself kind of like there's like nothing. Like there's the mountains, and on the other side of those mountains is San Francisco, and then over here there's like nothing, and then it's Half Moon Bay. So we're flying out of there. We're gonna be flying down the California coastline for a little bit till we get to Monterey. Monterey, we're gonna go inland. We're going to go over kind of the Bakersfield area, and then we get descended down into Santa Monica. I chose Santa Monica tonight because it seems like a really good airport for us to go to in a private plane, and it doesn't get a whole lot of action on the network. Plus, the Santa Monica is actually really fun because they have some of the gnarliest departures in the entire network. So like Santa Monica is one of my favorite airports to fly out of on PilotEdge because it's always like climb on runway heading until crossing or until like 500 feet, and then make a right turn and cross the Santa Monica radial, and then make a right turn and then join the departure, like that kind of stuff. So I'm interested in seeing, like I've never flown out of Santa Monica to go further than SoCal. So I'm interested in seeing what kind of departures and what kind of instructions and whatnot we end up with. And I'm very excited about this. So anyway, that's our flight. That's our route today. I am filed, I think. I am filed on PilotEdge. So we'll get. I didn't have a chance to really get a lot of preparations going. Again, I had some electrical work that was done on my house while I was gone, and it was as a result of the work I had to get done. I had to pull my PC away from the wall, disconnect all my electronics on the day that I left. So that meant when I got home on Monday, I had no computer to hook up. I had nothing to sit in front of in my desk. I had to do that on Tuesday. So yeah, I just have not had anything in the way of time to get things going. So yeah, here we are. Airport diagram. So I didn't get to do any of my flight planning tonight because I was still hooking stuff up pretty much all the way until the stream started. Like I didn't have my stream PC hooked up and all that. Yeah, so that's just me making excuses. We're coming on to Chemo 3. I couldn't agree more. Mr. Servant, thank you very much for 8 months of support. Closing in on my year of this ridiculousness. No kidding, dude. Thank you very much for your continued support, Ian. Ian, we got to get together at some point, man. I'm guessing that you've been busy based on what I've seen from various social media places, but yeah. Yes, Aviation 380. We are exposing you for the fraud that you are. Cosmatos, good to see you. N90 Flyer, welcome aboard. Happy Friday, guys. Eccentric got mine and got his in my giveaway. I like it. No star. There is a star into Santa Monica. We're flying the Chemo 3 into Santa Monica. Lost Kiwi says use checklists. We don't use checklists, man. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's get some people and gas loaded in here. We'll call clearance. We'll get the hell out of here. The nice thing about this plane is it's pretty easy to get going. It's pretty easy to get like up in the air. So we can kind of sit here and shoot the breeze just a little bit longer than usual. And it's not really going to affect us that much. South Carolina Gaming is here for 2 months, he says. Holy crap. South Carolina Gaming, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. I appreciate it. Got to make sure I drink when I cheers. Listen, okay. So the channel lost like 70 subscribers while I was gone for 2 weeks. That doesn't surprise me one bit. But I have a feeling I'm going to be drinking a lot tonight if I actually do go through and like cheers to every single person. So at some point I might switch over to that water cup over there. Don't think anything of it, please. All right, shocks. Let's make sure we get the parking brake out. Parking brake is out. Those are all closed. Let's open the door up so we can add people. 1, 2, yeah, sure, 3 adults and a captain. That's fine. And we're just gonna max out the fuel. Boop 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 boop. Good enough right there. That gives us 204 gallons. This plane burns. I don't remember what this plane burns. My headphones are rattling. That gives us some fuel to play with though. Anyway, let's turn you up and go back to the ground. Close the door. We're just gonna go ahead and fire this thing up. Get the power going, get the avionics, everything online, and then we'll call it clearance and we'll get out of here. So parking brake is set. So we'll start with the electrical panel over here. We're gonna go 1, 2. We're just gonna fire up, I don't know, all these guys. Gens, batteries, whatever. Bus tie to auto. Push you. Push you. I think there's actually a new version of this coming out soon that I'm not currently running. Nav lights can come on. Beacon light can come on. We'll leave the external lights off for now. Ice protection off. Interior lights are off. The master dimmer switch is off. Matt Moore 37's in the house. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Vision Bite, welcome aboard. We'll change the cabin air to normal. And auto and good there. Okay. So, to start your Eclipse 550NG aircraft, make sure your throttle is in the fully retarded position. Sure, it is. Go to the overhead panel and put that to on. Literally, that's it. I think they're also working on sounds for these things too, with some of the F-mod stuff. So hopefully, with any luck, this will be sounding better soon. They released an update a few days ago. Okay, so I'm not running the latest version of the Eclipse. Tim Rudy, it's good to see you, man. Happy Friday. Karen Casper, welcome aboard. C Colonel 8, welcome aboard. Blind Fox 455, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers. Appreciate it. Yeah, I saw that there was an update in the testers forum, but I didn't know it was released yet. I honestly whatever. This version runs fine. And we'll get a better version, you know, for the next time we go. Engine number 2's on. Let's go and start engine number 1. In 2's coming up. You guys ever use a Coronado Phenom 100 and X-Plane? Want to know if it's worth the purchase? I know Val Dudes has flown that thing. Tim Rodeo's actually. Tim PE if he's here. Not Tim Rodeo, but Tim PE if he's in here has flown it a few times. I think he's even streamed it. He might be able to give you an assessment. All right, so we're November 717, Tango Sierra. We're flying from Half Moon Bay. We're flying to, do this. There we go. We're flying down to Santa Monica, SMO. CRAFT. And let's look up Half Moon Bay. We're going to get some frequencies here. CTAF is 22.8. That's easy enough. So we'll punch that in. We need to get... Oh, man. Autopilot down here. 22... Oh, that's the nav. That's not what I want. I want the comms. 12280. Transfer. And then we're looking for... NorCal approach is 135.1. 135.1 is who we'll tune into. 13510. Transfer that. Now let's see if we actually got an ATC. That should give us approach there. So what we will do is I'm gonna program everything in here, and then we'll taxi out to the runway, and then once we're holding short of the runway, I'll call it for clearance, so he can just then release as we can go. That'll make this whole thing a lot easier. So we are going to go to map, flight plan over here. Nope. Insert waypoint. KHAF. From there, we're going to go to OSI. Insert waypoint. OSI. And then we're going to go to SNS. And then we're going to go to LHS. And then we're going to go to Santa Monica. From there, we're going to go to insert arrival. Probably going to take one of the RNAVs going west. I'm going to say RNAV 21. From Chemo 3 from LHS. Okay. So there we go. Songs, chemo, darts, movie. And that's probably the actual approach right there. Okay, so that's good. That's good. That's all programmed in, ready to go. Let's do our flight control check. Head on outside. Head on outside here. Right rudder's good. Left rudder's good. Left aileron's good. Right aileron's good. Full back. Full forward. Flaps to approach. Can't actually see that happening. That's all right. It's a good thought, though, right? Turn on our taxi lights. You pull a taxi diagram up here. We're at the FBO. So we're going to take a left turn out of here and then follow everything to the left towards the runway. We're planning for runway 30. Oh, you know what? One more thing I want to do. I want to look up the minimum, or I want to look up the departure procedure out of here, because we're going to care about that. Almost certainly going to care about that. Take our off minimums. Bubble Matuna, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers. I appreciate it, buddy. Disgruntled Sailor, welcome aboard. Disgruntled Sailor says, Phenom is an alright plane, done 3 flights, fits its purpose. My biggest problem with the Coronado G1000 is its total lack of SIDS and stars. Half Moon Bay, okay. Departure procedure for runway 12. There is no departure procedure for runway 30, so I guess we're just going to blast out of here at runway heading. Which is probably okay. Yeah, we can just blast straight out of here and not even care. As long as we stay below 3,000 feet, which is probably what they'll assign us. And then we're good to go there. So there's no departure procedures to care about. Great, all right. Let's go. I'm stoked. Retard. Get that weather refresh too while we're at it. Rudyism, thank you very much for 7 months. He says, catstrator, how's it going? It's going pretty good, man. Happy to be back here. Cheers. Thank you for the continued support. Assad, welcome aboard, Adam. Good to see you. Won't ATC give you upon entering controlled airspace? I'm not really sure what they're going to do out of here. I don't know how they're going to release me out of here. They'll probably tell me to stay below a specific altitude and then call them when I'm airborne. And they might tell me to stay clear of the Bravo. I'm not really sure, because this is an uncontrolled field, so the rules are different. I'm a little concerned that I have not heard anybody speak yet, though. But we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that chicken once we get down here to the end of the runway. All right, Assad here for 3 months. Thank you very much for 3 months, Assad. Cheers. Did I file IFR or VFR? I filed IFR, man. Clouds are pretty low here. Whoops. Don't inhale the wine. Hope that wasn't my turn. Holy crap, dude. Don't do that. That's bad. Alright, 209 or 190 for the climb. Change you over to Skyview, turn you off. Set our heading bug to 300. I'm guessing the 30 means that runway 30 is taking a right here. Is that a runway? No. The airport is sweet, dude. Yeah. This Half Moon Bay scenery is clutch. Like, it's seriously good. I'm excited. There's the run-up area that we don't care about. Functioning TCAS, yes sir. The TCAS has landed. Alright, we got a sign over here for probably noise abatement purposes, so let's see what she says. Let's go ahead and stop it right there so we can read the sign. A little further forward. Alright, park brake. And the sign says, no turns until reaching 500 MSL. Reduce power to RPM as soon as safe and practical. Don't care about that. Pattern work, especially touch and goes, is discouraged at night, on weekends, and holiday mornings. Fly right traffic for runway 30, left traffic for runway 12. Maintain pattern altitude 1000 MSL until necessary for descending and landing. Avoid flying over homes whenever possible. Safety always supersedes noise abatement procedures. Airport elevation 67 MSL. Climb straight out to 500 MSL. Thank you for your continued support and patronage. Cheers. All right, let's see if my radios are working. Oh, you know what? NorCal radio check. The monitor's lit up red. I mean, somebody's talking, and I ain't hearing anything. That is concerning. ETC, that's correct. That's turned up. I should have checked this before I went live. Speakers are working. ATC's not showing anything. There was somebody that was transmitting just now, and we didn't hear them. So the other thing that we'll check, I know PilotEdge is using the radios. NorCal radio check. Okay. So the next thing we got to check are the recording devices. These are all things I should have fixed before we got on here. That's on the wrong input, so let's do that. Do that. Now I still saw somebody transmitting and didn't hear anybody on the radio. Yeah, see that means I'm receiving. I'm receiving on 3510, but I'm not hearing anything on my... Oh, God damn. Okay. Let's try that one. If I disconnect and
disconnected. Connected to PilotEdge.
Okay, so I reconnected there. NorCal approach radio check.
Aircraft flying NorCal approach.
Ah! It worked, okay. Let's try...
Right in uniform disregard to report runway 25 clear to land.
Okay, that worked now. All right, Ghost Rider Jonathan, thank you very much for your 100 bits. Cheers, my friend, appreciate it. We fixed it, we're good to go. NorCal approach Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra's on the ground, Half Moon Bay, IFR to Santa Monica.
Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, NorCal approach to Santa Monica Airport as filed, maintain 5,000, expect level 250, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 135.1, squawk 6263.
Go to Santa Monica, as filed, 5,000 on departure, 250 within 10, 135.1, 6263, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra.
Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra, read back correct, hold for release, advise ready for departure this frequency.
And we're ready for departure, 7 Tango Sierra.
7 Tango Sierra, release for departure, clearance forward if not airborne by 2350 Zulu, time now 2336 Zulu, report airborne this frequency.
Clear for release, 2350 Zulu, 7 Tango Sierra. Okay, I want to turn the radios down just a touch now because he was popping a bit. Okay. All right, so we're clear as files. We're going to fly runway heading out of here. We're going to go up to 5,000 feet, as I figured. 5,000 feet. That keeps us the base of the San Francisco Bravo. We're going to pop 2,000 feet per minute in here. We're going to come down to the autopilot. We'll turn the flight director on. Put ourselves into vertical speed mode and heading mode. So heading, vertical speed. We're going to be vertical speed at 2,000 feet per minute up to 5,000 feet. Once we're ready to, we're going to climb in at 190 knots to our to whatever altitude we end up at. I think that's what we want. And yeah, we're ready to go. Okay, so let's go to 122.8. Go to the left. Go to the right. Let's go lights. We should set the transponder too, shouldn't we? 6263. 6263.
Retard.
XP Aviator here for 6 months. XP Aviator, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Appreciate it. PE might have been a little low. I got to mess with audio levels once we get up in the air. All right, so lights, good. Camera, good. Set for departure. Action. Flaps are set. Parking brakes off. Let's get out of here. Clear left. Clear right. Half Moon Bay traffic Eclipse departing runway 30, planning straight out departure Half Moon Bay. This thing is so sticky on the ground. That's what she said. I don't think you're actually supposed to fly jets out of here. There was a weight restriction on the aircraft that you could fly, but they didn't say anything about turboprops or turbojets. So I think we'd be legal flying Eclipse out of here, but we might piss off the neighbors. Anyway, let's go. Power up. Engine stable. Power set. Airspeed alive. Take 100 knots. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear. $500 feet, we'll bring the flaps in. Half Moon Bay traffic, Eclipse clear to the clear runway 30, departing the area to the northwest. Last call, Half Moon Bay. Let's go autopilot on. Okay, so we're 2,000 feet from it up to 5,000 feet. We're accelerating now to 190 knots. Our flaps are in, gears up, lights are out. And we'll turn the taxi light off. We're good. NorCal departure, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, 1,900, climbing 5,000, just out of Half Moon Bay. Go to IAS mode.
We're 717 Tango Sierra, NorCal departure, right, Ed?
And where's my IDIN button?
For 5724 Juliet, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved, g'day.
He is still popping a little bit, so we'll turn him down another touch.
Right in uniform Alpha to the ramp, g'day.
Oh, it's such a great little plane. I love this plane so much. It's not a neighborly airplane. Oh, you're talking about your 337, yeah. 4,000, 5,000, 1,000 to go. Change this guy over to map.
Report to Farco Pop, Monterey runway 28 left taxi the Alpha.
Pull the power back a touch here. No reason to shoot ourselves too far to the northwest while we're waiting for him to pick us up. Plus, we're technically underneath a Bravo, so I think we... Yeah, so we gotta... Aren't we in a Bravo now? We'll just keep our speed down. There's no reason for us to speed up right now when we're heading at 5,000 feet to the northwest here. Until he picks us up and gives us further climb instructions. Enjoy the lovely clouds. Let's see, are we actually pressurizing? Yeah, okay. I have had a hell of a time getting this plane to pressurize because I always forget to do it. So we get up and it's like, oh yeah, we're dead. I hope you didn't like living. I'll hit the IDIN again for him. We like Peter. He's a good dude. Trip Taker, good to see you, man. Little sports car indeed. Yeah, it's not very fast, though. Like, it's a pretty slow jet, all things considered. NorCal 7 Tango Sierra, did you pick up the ident?
Number 7 Tango Sierra, I did a radar contact 13 miles west of the San Francisco airport. Climb maintains level 190.
Flight level 190, so Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. Little gentle nudge there. Alright, go IIS mode. Bring the power in. Power! Don't need that much power. 99.5% is good enough. There we go. Rocket ship mode engaged.
Know your location.
Oh, I love this plane so much. Taco 83, good to see you, man. AJ, welcome aboard. No install instructions. Just copy all 3 folders to your custom scenery folder. That's all you got to do. It's pretty easy to install this one. Oh, I can probably go. I probably should have gone direct OSI. Is my guess. I'm just going to do that and probably get yelled at. I think as I was taking off out of there, I could have turned direct to my first waypoint and been okay. Lessons learned. That's probably why he hasn't given me any further instructions. Otherwise, he's going to end up yelling at me here. Like, that's a possibility, too.
Report to Clark, pop out Monterey Tower, runway 28 left there.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I went flying last night, and it was interesting because I'd forgotten basically everything. My excuse here is that the mountains scared me, and I wanted to make sure I was high enough to be over them. Direct. There we go. We'll go to nav mode now. Put ourselves on ye old LNAV. 10,000 feet and crank the lights off. Up and up and up we go. Iowa Scotsman, good to see you, man. Jay Fabiano, welcome aboard, Jeff. Happy Friday, man. Good to see you. Ghost Face GDB, good to see you. Kaya King Max, welcome aboard. Vash, welcome aboard. The Daedalus, welcome aboard. Blind Fox, good to see you, man. My own little circle of flight simulators are now enjoying the term lawn dart mode engaged. Thanks to you. I love it, man. I love it. Vacation went well, yeah. So I talked about it a little bit when we were on the ground. And I'm having problems controlling back pressure. That was my dude. It took me probably 6 or 7 lessons to like finally get that down. And to this day, I still can't. Like, I flew a Cessna while I was on vacation, and it was terrible. Like, I had to go around. Like, I floated it halfway down the runway. It was interesting. Mr. Fabiano, thank you very much for your 7 months of support. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it. It's good to see you, man. 7 months and a new mic. Yeah, I know. We're finally trying to get things sounding a little better. I got some work to do on this one a little bit, but I think it's a little better than the headset was. I am Marcus. Good to see you, man. Welcome aboard. Should have heard all the pilot deviations on Memphis Center on Monday. Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah, I bet it was pretty wild. But yeah. So I talked a little bit about it on the way on the start of the stream here. But I have a pop filter on a pop filter. Yeah. So if I don't, all right. If I just leave it like this, this thing is more like a windscreen than a pop filter, all right? But if I do this, it actually this pop filter actually makes it sound fine. But I want to have the windscreen because it's a shotgun mic, and what I found is that it was actually picking up like the air circulating in my room, like the air rushing over the microphone was causing noise. So put the foam on here, but then also want to have the proper pop filter so I don't pop it too much. It does
717 Tango Sierra, contact open center 127.45.
2745, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra.
For 43 for Echo Papa, contact departure.
2745. Oakland Center, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, 15,600 climbing, flight level 190.
For 717 Tango Sierra, Oakland Center, climb maintain file 250.
Flight level 250, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. I never set the altimeter. Whoops. All the things that we forgot. Yeah, so this particular mic, it looks pretty ridiculous right now. But this mic needs to have the pop filter as well as the windshield on here. Otherwise, it sounds bad. And I'm still not entirely sold on this thing, but like the microphone itself is like $160, and it kind of gets me more towards my end goal of even better yet sound. With the headset was fine, but the headset was starting to kind of starting to show its limitations. So I decided it was time to switch to something else. So there's San Francisco, and we're basically flying like right over top. Actually, if I do a weather shift here. So here's Half Moon Bay, where we took off from. All right, and there's San Francisco on the other side of the mountains. So we basically just took straight off of. We basically just took like right on the other side of the mountains there. That doesn't make any sense what I said, but whatever. Going CD3, good to see you, man. Yeah, we got him. Ben Farney, good to see you, man. If Ben says it sounds good, I'm gonna go with it because Ben's actually an audio engineer. He knows what he's talking about. Maybe you can send me some tips. Please help. I don't know what I'm doing. Papa Whiskey Mike, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. Yeah, so vacation. So I talked about it a little bit earlier. I went to Indianapolis. So my wife went straight to the Azores, and I went to Indianapolis for a weekend. The purpose of me going to Indianapolis was to hang out with a friend of mine, and then go to the Drum Corps Finals that Saturday. So it was actually 2 weeks ago tomorrow that I went to that. 2 Zulu Mike here for 6 months. Welcome back, Ty. Last Friday wasn't the same without you. I know, man. I missed you guys. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much for your continued support. I appreciate it. So, yeah. So I went to Indy. Had fun at the the DCI finals were amazing. If you guys are into drum corps, like it's just absolutely incredible to go to that, to be in that environment. So that was fun. Played around a golf with my buddy while I was there. I gave myself a blister because I didn't have a glove. I actually still have the blister, like still have some scarring and whatnot from it. It's kind of bad. But that afternoon we went flying, and we went up in a Cessna 172 out of Indianapolis Metropolitan Airport. Awesome crew there. Awesome. Tom Wood Aviation. Those guys were fantastic. They were able to accommodate getting me an instructor, made sure the plane was in good, like fueled properly so I could have my buddy come along with me. And it was a great experience. Those guys are great. So if you're ever in like northern Indianapolis and you want to go do some flying, Tom Wood Aviation over at Metropolitan, that's who I would go talk to. But whoops. But yeah, so we were gonna go to Lafayette, Indiana, which is where Purdue University is, and go do a stop and go up there, kind of check out that airport, try to do a couple apps around the university, and then head down to Indianapolis. So the Indianapolis portion of the flight was going to be scrubbed because the vice president was in town, and there was a TFR over downtown that we just didn't want to have to contend with. We could have done it, but there was a TFR, we just didn't want to deal with it. So I knew that was scrubbed right away. The ceilings were like 2,000 feet, if that, maybe 2,500 at best. So because of the ceilings, the instructor wasn't comfortable doing a cross-country flight, which I totally did not blame her. I was basically ready to, like, I basically called it myself and said, like, there's no way that we're going to make this flight. It just isn't going to happen. So we had to scrub the Lafayette portion of the flight as well because the ceilings were too low, and we just couldn't punch through. And what the kicker to the whole thing is that Indiana had the most amazingly gorgeous weather the entire week before and the entire week after the one day I wanted to go flying. Music Man for sure. It's good to see you, Dan. Happy Friday, sir. Josh 5028, welcome aboard. Crash Burn, welcome aboard. Cali Pilot, welcome aboard. Says BTFU, indeed. Drew the Cessna Pilot, happy Friday, man. You're soloing this Sunday, nice, dude. That'll be a big day. Yeah, so everything got scrubbed. Like I mean the whole frickin' plan just up in smoke. That's it. You're done. You're not doing anything.
Reach on.
Anyway, so Right Quit is here for 5 months. Right Quit says, welcome back, sir. Thank you very much, Right Quit. Appreciate it, buddy. Cheers. It's good to be back. All right, so we came up with I still wanted to go flying. I couldn't do any of the stuff that I wanted to do initially. I still wanted to go flying because I hadn't flown a Cessna in a while, and I kind of wanted to do that. My buddy had never flown general aviation, and I really wanted to take him up in an airplane. And I wanted to fly in a very different environment, in a very different airplane with a very different instructor. Like I wanted to change things up and see how I did. Vash 5556 is here for 7 months. It sounds like the vacation went well. Glad you're back in one piece. I am back in one piece. It did go very well. Thank you very much for your continued support and cheers. I appreciate it. Xiotis, welcome aboard. Crazy Diamond, welcome aboard. Good to see you guys. Crazy Diamond's trying not to float away down there in southern Texas right now. Thousand to go. We're pretty much just gonna leave the throttle pegged here.
Oakland
Try
Center,
to get down there as quick as we can.
434,
Hey, another pilot. All right. So anyway, I flew out of Indianapolis Metropolitan. So here's where we started. I decided we were looking at what we could do. Like we could go to Indianapolis Regional and then fly a local flight back to like Indianapolis Executive and then fly ourselves back to Metropolitan. But that's not quite like that. I don't know. I didn't really want to do that. And I'm like, well, what if we went to Anderson? So we have Anderson Municipal over here. We ended up going to. That's 22 nautical miles. It's it's enough that we can kind of get up, stretch our legs a little bit, and go to its Howard Airport and kind of like that's a very different kind of flight, right? It's all cornfields. This airport is different. It's just different. Okay. Aku Daikon, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers, appreciate it. And YQR Ninja, it's gonna pop here in a second. YQR Ninja, welcome to the Beer of the Month Club, and thank you for your support. Cheers to you as well, guys. Thank you both. So we ended up going to Anderson, and then from Anderson I decided to fly back to Indianapolis Executive. So I got a 22-mile leg, I got a 30-mile leg, and they were both interesting flights because like on the return leg here we were going through a practice area. There was some traffic that we weren't talking to. We didn't talk to ATC at all except for the Towered Field. We'll get back to that. And then Indianapolis Executive is it's an airport in a freaking cornfield. Like, I gotta show you this. Indianapolis Executive, by the way, if you watch Premier One Driver, is where he flies out of. So that was kind of cool to see that. I'd kind of go in, and like I've seen that field before, or I've seen that airstrip before, but it was kind of neat to fly in there as well. But there's nothing. It's like here's residential, here's kind of built up, and then there's freaking nothing. Like Indianapolis Executive is just nothing there. So that was neat. That was fun. And we watched this Cessna take off, this little timid Asian girl on the radio, and it sounded like, honestly, and this is not me being mean, but it sounded like it was her very first flight ever. Super timid on the radios, but she did it. I give her credit for that. But I'm looking down there, I watched this Cessna on the runway. It starts to go, and it just veers off to the right side. It's like she gave it way too much right rudder when her instructor said right rudder. I thought it was going to go off the runway there for a second. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. But yeah, so we went to Indianapolis Executive. We did a stop and go there, and then flew back to Metropolitan. So this ended up being the flight plan that I did when I was in Indianapolis. It's about 1.3 hours, I think, was the total time. So it was like 75 minutes or whatever. Not exactly what I wanted to do, but like I said, it was a good experience. Indianapolis Metropolitan was an interesting airport to fly into. It's kind of on the short side. There's always a crosswind there. I had to do a go around because I floated it I floated it all the way down the damn runway, couldn't land it, and yeah. But the interesting part of this whole story comes when we get to Anderson Arlington Airport. I guess what happens is a lot of traffic that comes out of Northeast or comes out of Indianapolis transits at like 3,000 feet AGL Anderson to go to Muncie. So I call up Anderson 10 miles out, Cessna 9 Mike Echo. We're 10 miles to the southwest. I'm all proud of my radio skills. 10 miles to the southwest with the weather, because there's no ATIS, there's just weather. Inbound for a full stop landing. Controller comes back. Cessna, what do you want? I'd like to come land at your airport. And then he gives me instructions for landing at the airport. So this guy is named Larry. Larry has a bit of a reputation, apparently, in Indiana, in that part of the state. He is what has to be the most unprofessional damn controller I've ever encountered in my life. Like, none of the radio calls he did were by the book at all. Like, nothing was even close to being by the book. Hang on a second here. Nothing was by the book. Nothing was close to what you would expect to hear. Starting with, what do you want? So we land, and get on the ground. He's like, where are you going? And I said, I want to taxi back to the runway. He says, did you want to take off again? I'm like, yeah, I want to go back to the runway. It gives me taxi instructions to the runway. As I'm taxiing to the runway, there's a Cherokee in front of me. Cherokee's negotiating IFR release. So eventually Cherokee gets... so he puts the Cherokee on the runway. Let's pull some more maps up here. Because we haven't had enough of this yet. I have to show you this. Alright, so let's find Indianapolis. Let's find Anderson. Let's find the airport. Aerial view. Where's the airport at? It's up here somewhere. That's not an airport. There it is. Nope. Anderson Memorial Park. Oh, dear God. I just had the airport. Anderson Airport. Is that the right? That is the right one. Okay, yeah. So that's the airport right there. Yeah. Okay, so we landed on runway 12. All right, land on runway 12. Turn around. We got to like this taxiway. Turn around, go back. There's a Cherokee up here in front of us. The Cherokee is on the piano bars. Okay, and he's sitting there and he's waiting. He's had to hold position. He doesn't have IFR release. He can't be let go yet. So he's on the piano bars holding. The controller, as we sit there for a few minutes, the controller then comes on and says, you know, Cessna 9 Mike Echo, are you ready to go? And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. He says, all right, if you can get around the Cherokee, you're clear to take off. And I looked at the instructor, and the instructor looks at me. We both kind of shrug and say, well, I guess we can get by him. So the Cherokee is here, and we kind of squeeze in next to him, cohabitate this runway 12, get up a little further because I don't want to throw a bunch of rocks and crap, and take off. And at no point was anything that we did. I'm pretty sure none of that was legal. I don't think any of that was legal. But you've had two airplanes on the runway, and he's like, "All right, if you can get around that guy, you can just go ahead and take off." And I was like, okay, sure, we'll do that." And then we get up in the air. And he says, Cessna, which way you going? I say, I'm going to go to the west. He's like, all right, you can turn to the west, and you can turn to the west. And that's it. That was the last time I talked to Larry. Eventually, the Cherokee gets up, so we kind of get out of his way. And the instructor looks at me and says, I've never seen that happen before, ever. I guess Larry has a level of unprofessionalism that exists, and then there's this level of unprofessionalism that exists on top of what Larry usually is. And, yeah, that's what I thought, crazy. I'm like, is this a trick question? And I looked at the instructor because I'm like, what the hell should I do? Like, I mean, I guess we could have said unable, and I almost did just say unable, but I'm like, I kind of want to just get up in the air and go. And so as we're taxiing past this Cherokee to get on the runway, he kind of, he's got like a family of 5 in his damn airplane. He kind of looks at us, we look at him, and we all just collectively shrug. It's like they knew, they were in on the joke. My instructor was in on the joke, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm just flying an airplane. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting. I went back and tried to pull the tapes on live ATC. Unfortunately, that particular airport is not covered by live ATC, so I was not able to get that particular exchange. But rest assured, it was pretty funny. I couldn't understand your Boston accent. Dude, I'm from Indiana. Like, I'm from that part of the country. Like, maybe I got a little bit of a Boston accent, but it's not that bad anymore. That's a nice screenshot there. Who sent that over? So yeah, that was my weird flying story, and I wish that I could convey it in a way that really that you could really get the WTF moment that happened while we were experiencing that. But it was pretty bonkers. It was pretty wild. Like I told the instructor, I'm like, I'm so happy that I came out here and did that, if only to have that experience right there. Like, that was totally worth the $300 or whatever I just spent on this. Lazy Pilot Rap, thank you very much for 6 months of support. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Tacos are coming back. Papa Whiskey Mike's here for 8 months. He says, finally switched to X-Plane. Thanks for the tutorial setting of views. You're absolutely welcome, Papa Whiskey Mike. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Poker 2012 Chew, hello from Boston. Good to see you, man. I like Larry. Can you come to White Plains? Yeah. Max, I'm telling you, Max, next time you go cross country, you have to stop at Anderson. Like, my understanding is that Larry works there pretty much all week during the business hours, like during the late afternoon and whatnot. So like, you have to go to Anderson Airport just to see if you get Larry and experience that, that kind of thing. Because yeah, that was pretty bonkers. So yeah, we still got a long ways to go. We still got 37 minutes in the air. All right. So that was the Indianapolis portion of the trip. Vasco Point, good to see, man. Ripper Air, welcome aboard. Get to Pants, good, welcome aboard. Good to see Ashley. Happy Friday to all of you. It's not your accent, it's how fast you speak. I speak a little slower on the radios. I try to slow it down a little bit. Larry needs his own emoticon. Yeah. Microsoft Gamer XD says, I also switched to X-Plane. Thank you for the beginner tutorial. Really helped. Awesome, dude. I'm happy to have helped. So, yeah, so we did the thing. We went to the DCI stuff, and then Sunday my buddy and I went out and had a beer. I had a coffee blonde ale, and it was one of the most JDOS 850s here for 2 months. Stopped drinking before landing. That guy from your link. I like the streams. Thank you very much, JDOS, for your continued support. Cheers, my buddy or my friend. I appreciate it. How is Larry still working? I don't know. And that's the thing, is they warned me about Larry before we even left the FBO. Serious Max, we'll see you, man. Have a good one, man. 19 Bone, I'm doing well, man. How are you? Happy Friday, sir. So, I had a coffee blonde ale, and let me tell you, this beer was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. Think of a blonde ale, kind of a light, crisp, sort of, just a good summer beer. And then think of that coffee taste that you usually get with a stout or a porter. And then mesh those together without the bitterness or the heaviness of a stout or a porter. And it was awesome. It was such a good beer. I did a sampler pack. That was the first one I tried. I then ordered another small pour, another 5-ounce pour of that particular beer, because I'm I have to have that beer again before I leave. So it was good. So we did that. And then Sunday, that was Sunday. Then we went back, got all my stuff, hopped to the airport. I had an hour and a half. Actually, no, it ended up being 2.5 hours because we got delayed.
Dublin Center 133.8.
32.8, 44.
Oh, we have control.
Tango Sierra, connect Dublin Center 133.7.
133.7, Eclipse 7, Tango Sierra. All right. New controller hype. Local Center, Eclipse 717, Tango Sierra, flight level 250.
Orson 17, Tango Sierra, Eclipse Center, 434, Eclipse Center.
Disgruntled Sailor Man, good to see you. Good to see your daughter as well. That's kind of weird to say it like that, but hello to both of you. Good evening. Pearly G, welcome aboard. Yeah, so I hopped on the airplane. So it ended up being a little bit of a wait in Indianapolis. It was a really fast flight. It was an hour and 45 minutes, maybe even 2 hours for us to get back to Boston from Indy. So that was great. I had this moment in Boston where I realized that I had no idea how to connect between two terminals at my own airport. I've flown out of Boston dozens of times. I've never had to go from one terminal to another terminal. So I had to figure that out. That was a moment. We're not going to go storm chasing. Nah, we're not doing storm chasing tonight. I thought about it, but I wanted to chill and talk tonight. How much longer is this flight? Says dumb 0101. 33 more minutes till we're on the ground. You got some time. So, yeah. So let's turn that down just a touch. So, yeah, I got to Boston. I eventually figured out how to make a connection between two terminals by taking the bus. I got checked in for my flight. The flight was, of course, also delayed because why the hell wouldn't it be? Had a nice beer, had a nice dinner, had a flight of wine. It was a good night. Had another glass of wine because I was gearing myself up to hop on this airplane and sleep. It's a 4.5-hour red-eye with a 4-hour time change. They serve dinner for the first 2 hours of the flight, so it's a positively miserable experience. But I came prepared, okay? I have a nice neck pillow that I had gotten. It was awesome, amazing neck pillow. I had a set of blinders that I could put on. And if you were walking around this plane and you saw me in my seat, you'd look at me and you'd say, you know what? That guy wants to sleep. I tried. I really did. I really tried to sleep. But this guy that sat next to me was like elbowing himself into my body. He actually put his elbow against the side of my body and used me as leverage to get up at one point. Constantly bumping into me, constantly knocking into me, constantly waking me up. And I'm like, I want to kill you right now. So I didn't get any sleep for the first 2.5, maybe 3 hours of the flight until Manuel finally decided he was going to take a nap. And I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm going to try to sleep again. And we're about 45 minutes from the end of this flight. And some 6-year-old, maybe 3 or 4 rows back, started sounding like he was having an exorcism. Like, if you've ever watched Jurassic Park and you've heard the sound that the velociraptors make when they're screaming, that's what this child sounded like for 45 minutes. It got to the point where the people around him were saying things like, "Oh, come on." And one person even said to the parent, like, "Are you going to do something about your kid?" Like, people were getting pretty ridiculous, screaming at the top of his lungs, sounding like a freaking velociraptor. And I'm just like, this sucks. So I got no sleep. I got no sleep. Now it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I've made it to my destination. It's like, okay, my next chance for reprieve is that I'm going to try to hop on an earlier flight to the second island. So I had to go. I had 2 flights that day that were spaced out over almost 9 hours. So I'm going to. My goal is to go and try to get on an earlier flight because I have a friend on the second island I could meet up with and have dinner with or have lunch with. So I go to the gate. The long and short of it is they say we can stand by you on one flight and we can guarantee you on another flight. The guaranteed flight gets me there an hour earlier, which was fine. Like, whatever, okay. And we'll try for the standby. The standby flight falls through. So they confirm me on the 11:50 flight. They, and whatever. Just make sure the one question I had is my bag gonna make it? And she's like, yes, your bag is gonna make it. I should have known right at that point. My bag's not gonna make it. There's no way my bag is making it to my destination at all. But I ended up getting to my second island early. Called my buddy up, met up with him. We did a tour around the island, big island. Had some cheese, had some wine, had some beer. It was a good time. It was a nice, pleasant afternoon. I was tired as all hell, but like whatever. Like I'm surviving. We're making it through this. I get back to the airport, hop on my plane. I go to the final island. This is where vacation is. I'm super stoked because it's vacation. I'm super tired, but whatever, dude. I'm on vacation. It's great. My bag doesn't show up. My bag doesn't make it. I'm like, oh. All right. So this is a thing that can happen. So I storm out of the baggage claim area. I walk straight over to the counter. I look at the guy. He looks at me, and I think he knows that, like, this guy is not happy. And he says, bag? I said, yes. He says, go around the corner. So I had to go outside. There was apparently a collection area where they were collecting bags that it was like the land of misfit and missing bags. Like, they have so many missing bags at this airline. They actually have a room for handling the missing bags. There's 2 flights a day that go to this island. The island's 4,000 people. They have a room dedicated for all the bags that they lost. So I go to the lost baggage room. And the guy's like, okay, I definitely saw your, like, he looked at my tag. He's like, I saw your bag. I recognize your name. I saw your bag. And I'm like, hallelujah, man. Hallelujah. Like, I just want to get my bag, go get a shower, and maybe take a nap, and then probably get, have a beer, whatever. So they're going through the bags, and I'm looking through the pile of the collection of bags that they have there in the bag room, and I'm like, none of those are mine. He says, no, I saw your bag. I'm like, yeah, but none of those are mine, dude. And they go tag, and they finally this little dainty purple thing. Like, it must have been 2.5, 3 feet tall, on wheels, little purple bag, and he's like, yeah, this is your bag. I'm like, no, that's not my bag. And he looks at the tag, he says, the tag says this is your bag. And I'm like, God damn it. So what happened is, at some point, they mistagged when we did the old switcheroo back on the first island. They put somebody else's tag on my bag, and they put my tag on somebody else's bag. So my bag made it to my destination, and their bag made it to their destination, and neither of us had our clothes. So I explained to them. At this point, I'm just looking at him, and there's like smoke and steam coming out of my ears. Like, I'm like towering over this guy, and it's all I can do to just not take his head, put it into a vice grip, and just go. Of course, it's not his fault. Like, it's not none of these guys. It's not any of their fault, so it's not worth getting angry with them. But I let my wife do the talking because she speaks Portuguese. She speaks Portuguese, and she can be a lot more level-headed because she hasn't been traveling for 25 hours on no sleep. So she talks to him, explains the situation, and they're kind of like, I guess there's a big like scuffle that happens between the crew of the airplanes and like the crew in the airports. They hate each other, from what I understand, and that doesn't help my situation that they don't want to work together. The good news is, before we left, they found my bag. My bag was either on Ponta Delgada where I got in first, or it was on Terceira where I got in second. One or the other. My bag was out there. They knew where my bag was, and they put a tag on it and they said, "All right, your bag's coming." When's my bag coming? Tomorrow morning. All right. Give my bag to me tomorrow morning on the early flight. I will deal with it. I had a pair of undies. I had a pair of shirts. I had a pair of I had all the stuff in my carry-on bag to get me through one day. And I had enough toiletries to get me through one day. Fine, whatever. So we get up the next morning. My wife goes to get my bag. The plane's the plane's an hour and a half late because it's SATA, and the plane's always an hour and a half late.
For 7 Tango Sierra, connect Los Angeles Center 133.55.
3355, 7 Tango Sierra. We'll see you.
Later. 4 Echo Papa, connect Oakland Center 132.05.
Got some loadage going here. Transfer. There we go. Here comes the chaos. Los Angeles Center, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, flight level 250.
Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, LA Center, roger.
All right. So because it's always late, my wife goes. I love my wife for doing this. She let me sleep in. She didn't bother me. So, first of all, Iowa Scotsman here for 8 months. Cheers to 8 months, formerly Iowa Flyer. All right, Iowa Scotsman. Thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Appreciate it. Jetstream, welcome aboard. Pilot Meister, welcome aboard. Good to see you guys. Hangar 52, welcome aboard. John Deere, welcome aboard. I'm doing well. How long is the flight? Yeah. So my wife, all of her loveliness goes, and she takes part of her beach day, and she goes to the airport to pick up my bag, and she comes back, and she throws a pair of swim trunks at me. And I look at her, and she looks at me, and she's like, "They didn't have your bag." I'm like, "You kidding me?" They didn't have my bag. All right. So when am I getting my bag? Well, they're going to deliver your bag. They're going to call us this evening if it makes it onto the evening flight. And then they'll bring your bag to you. All right. So here's a problem I ran into. European sizes are not the same as American sizes. Now, I'm not a small dude. All right. So you hand me a pair of swim trunks that are in European sizes. Literally the largest swim trunks she could, the largest American-style swim trunks that she could find. None of that Speedo stuff. None of those little short stuff. Like baggy American shorts. And they were not leaving much to the imagination. We'll put it that way. So we went down to the beach. I wore my way too tight, awfully white, and probably see-through when I came out of the water shorts. And the long and short of it is, later that night, eventually a taxi cab shows up, because that's how you deliver bags on the island, is to use a taxi cab. A taxi cab shows up, and there's my bag. And I'm like, thank God. So I did what any person would do the first night after you've had a stressful trip, followed by a lost bag, followed by shorts that are squeezing you way too hard. I got trashed. I drank a lot that night. It was good. I ended up smoking 3 cigars. I don't even know how many beers. I don't know how much heart. I don't even.
7 Tango Sierra, descent at 5 discretion, maintain flight level 240.
240, my discretion. Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. Nah, we don't need to. We need to head down yet. I'll figure descent out here in just a second. We don't need to go down yet. So, yeah. So that was a good night. That was like, finally we got to some of our friends' place that night, and I'm just like, I can relax now. And I did. So, yeah. So I got my bag. And my bag also made it back with me. I think my bag came on an earlier flight back to Boston, but my bag did make it back here to Boston. The bag is at the end of its life. It's now got holes in it. It's missing pieces. The bag has been beaten to hell and back because SATA is a terrible airline. But I have a bag. yeah, so that was like my crazy story. So those are my crazy like 2 stories, I guess, the ATC guy and the whole bag experience. And people were asking me in Discord and whatnot, like, why, like, what was so bad? What's so bad about this airline? I'm like, dude, this airline, you have no idea. Like, they're just awful because they just don't care. You have no choice but to use them. So they're like, hey, we lost your bag. It sucks for you. I'm still going to go home and wear my clothes tonight, but whatever. So yeah. Bluesmaster 2000 says, sounds like my trip to Honolulu sans lost bag. Yeah, man. I'm sure it's the same idea. Like any of the island hopping that you're doing, it's like you hurry up and wait. And we're going to the second smallest island in the chain of islands, so it's like it's not a priority. It's even to the point to where one of the gate agents, I told her where I was going, and she like I'm a big white guy traveling by myself, going to a small agricultural, like going to what is essentially Nebraska in the Azores, and she's like, Graciosa? That's where you're going? I'm like, yeah. Okay, if that's what you say. Jetstream, good to see you, man. But yeah, so that was the excitement. The rest of the trip was pretty good. Had a really good time with it. Had a fantastic time. Like we had so much fun when we were out there. You know, it was great to be back though. I missed the streaming. I missed being with my computer. I missed being with my stuff. You know, I'm in the middle of flight training right now, so I missed that. It was nice to get back and kind of get back in the routine. So, yeah, here we are. Thank you for listening to my stories. Anyway, we got to start thinking about a descent here. We'll talk about when we go for flight number 2. We'll talk a little bit about flight training and kind of where that's at. So I got some stuff going right there. But let's see. We are. Let's pull this arrival up. Is there any altitude restrictions we care about? No. No altitude restrictions. Great. Nope. Nothing. Great. So I'm going to plan to be at Darts. Actually, do I have... punched in the RNAV arrival here. Stand by. Standing by. RNAV 21. Darts. Okay. So Darts was supposed to be at 4,200 feet. So we need to go down. Okay. So Darts, we need to be 4,200 feet. We'll say 5,000 or so feet we want to be there by Darts. It gives us 20,000 feet to go down. We know the way math works. 20,000 feet, it's going to be about 60 miles for us to get down there. I can do the math. You drop the zeros, you take the 20, times it by 3. 60 miles is about how long it's going to take us to get down there. So here's 17 miles. Here's about 22 miles. Here's 34 miles. So we're 34. Once we get to LHS, we're 34 miles from Darts. I said it'd be about 60 miles.
Contact LA Center 135.5.
135.5. 7 Tango Sierra. Los Angeles Center, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, flight level 250.
The 717 Tango Sierra, LA Center, Roger, cross Lake Q, that maintains 7,000. The Los Angeles Ultimate Itinerary 1.
Lake Q's at maintains 7,000, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. All right, so we need to be 7,000 at LHS. That changes things up a little bit. Okay, now we'll pull the notepad out.
Sierra, correction, cross Lake Q's at 9,000.
Lake Q's at 9,000, 7 Tango Sierra. Okay, so we need to go LHS. We need to be at 9,000 feet. So we're at 25,000 feet. We're going to go down to 9,000 feet. That's a difference of 16,000 feet. If we drop the zeros, we're left with 16. We take that times 3. We're left with 48. Let's say 55, just for posterity's sake.
434 Echo Papa, LA Center, Roger.
So 55 miles prior to Lake Hughes is going to be our top of descent. Right now, we are en route to Lake Hughes. We're 68 miles outside of Lake Hughes. So in 13 miles, 12.9, 12.7, whatever miles, we're going to start down. So when this number reaches 55, we're going to start down to 9,000 feet. Make sense? So 25,000 minus 9,000 is 16,000. Drop the zeros. Take that times 3. That's like 48. Round up a little bit, 55 to give us a little bit of buffer. 55 miles. So 55 miles prior to Lake Hughes. That's our top of descent. Great. So we got 10 miles to go to our descent. We'll punch in 900,000. We're good to go. Celeste, welcome aboard. Captain Moodini, welcome aboard. Good to see you guys. Happy Friday. Daughter says divide. Yeah. My thoughts exactly. Math is hard. Oh, man. Super thirsty. That fancy class cockpit got VNAV. Now, this thing ain't got VNAV, man. This thing don't even have, like, this thing barely got auto throttles. It has auto throttles, but they just ain't that good. And we should be about 55-ish. We're close enough. We'll go ahead and start down. So we'll go to vertical speed mode. Grab our vertical speed, and we'll set it for -2. Actually, you know, I'm just going to use my button here. We'll set it for -2,000 feet per minute. Pull the power back here. Try not to speed up too much. We'll speed up a little bit, but it's not too much. We're going to watch the banana bar. So we're going to watch our speed, our altitude, and we're going to watch the banana bar over here. And the banana bar, we want to have that before and close to Lake Hughes. It should not be past Lake Hughes. It should be either before or very close to Lake Hughes. Because that's our, like, that banana bar represents our altitude crossing. All right. So why don't we down to 9,000 feet? So while we do that, let's go ahead and also grab the weather at Santa Monica. I'm just going to pull it up on ForeFlight here. Santa Monica weather as of 26 minutes ago. Winds are 240 at 7. With variability 220 to 280. 7 mile visibility. Overcast 900 feet. Overcast 9. Overcast 900. Oh, yeah. The RNAV will get us in there. Okay, so the RNAV will get me in there. Okay, overcast 900, altimeter 2981. So, 240 at 7. I heard the sub. We'll get there in a second. 240 at 7. Overcast 900. And altimeter 2981. I've arbitrarily also chosen 260 knots as about the speed that I want to descend at. Like, there's no reason for me to do it that way. That's just what I've picked. Whitsim, thank you very much for 8 months of support. He says close enough. My kind of flying. Damn straight. Happy Friday, my friend. Thank you very much for your continued support and cheers. First flight back, hardcore IFR approach. Yeah, actually, like, overcast 900 and the minimums on this are going to be like 400 feet. So this should be interesting. All right, 2981. He didn't give me an altimeter, so we'll just take an altimeter. It's pretty quiet for SoCal, man. Usually I expect it to be a lot more traffic down here.
503 Victor, San Luis ground to aircraft time.
Sounds like he's half asleep, too. Boo-doo. What the heck is a banana bar? So the banana bar, if that's a serious question, even if it's not a serious question, the banana bar is this guy right here. It's a curved line that exists on your flight path that shows when you will reach the altitude that you have dialed in. So we have 9,000 feet currently dialed in as our altitude, and that bar right there will tell us when the plane, given its current velocity, its current, like, I don't know, given the current speed, descent rate, and all that it's doing, that is the point when we will hit 9,000 feet. So if that bar were past LHS, if it were, say, over here, then we would miss, like, we would not cross LHS in time, or we would not cross LHS at 9,000. We'd be above 9,000. Now that it's before, it means that we're going to be at 9,000 feet prior to actually making LHS. So that's what the banana bar is. And a lot of planes have that. Like the CRJ-200 has it. This plane has it. And there's a few others that have it too. How did you guys bake pizza inside a volcano oven? That's a good question. So it actually wasn't a volcanic oven. It was an oven that was made of volcanic stones. We were literally inside a volcano. So there's big rims and whatnot around us. I don't have any pictures. I should have taken some pictures, but I don't have any. There's a big rim that's a volcanic rim around us. And these were just ovens that were built inside. Like it was like a little campground area. There was a stone grill. There was a little like faucet and kind of kitchen area in the middle, and then there was an oven on the right side. So we made a fire. We made a fire out of wood. Put the wood in there, got the oven hot, got everything heated up, and we threw our dough in there. And we made the pizzas that way. But we didn't like it just happened to be that this was inside a volcano. It's not like we were using volcanic heat or anything to make because that'd be pretty cool if we did that. But we didn't do that. Wonder if visibility will be that low on your last Zebo flight. The weather ended up being clear when it was supposed to be stormy. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what X-Plane ends up giving us. I'm seeing a lot of clouds over in this area. Like the airport is over here, so I have faith that maybe we'll be okay. Like maybe we'll see some weather. I'm gonna pull the speed back. Got scenery loads and all that crap happening. I can't wait till they get that fixed. Come on. It's at 250. I'll probably actually use the auto throttle for this as well once we're on our way down. Keep her at 250. Will I go back to the Azores again and fly SOT? That I will. I have a house. Like my wife's family has 2 houses back there. Like I will go back there in 2 years, and I'll fly SOT because I have no other choice. But yeah, I mean we have 2 houses on the island back there, so that's the reason why we go. I wouldn't recommend anybody because there's a couple islands on the Azores that are nice, they're touristy, and you probably would be okay. But like the island that we went to, I wouldn't recommend anybody goes to because I don't think you'd have any fun there, unless you speak Portuguese. And even then, like it's an agricultural island. It's like I said, it's literally Nebraska. No offense to anybody from Nebraska, if Dan the Music Man is, or if Dan's still here.
717 Tango, no, correction, 717 Tango Sierra, traffic 12 o'clock and 7 miles eastbound, out the gates 1,100 type of number.
Okay, we're looking for him, 7 Tango Sierra. X-Plane pilot, welcome aboard, good to see you.
Calling VFR request again.
Happy Friday from Boston, good to see you. Anyone have an issue with the Zebo mod? Oh no, I haven't used the Zebo mod for a few weeks. It seems like, oh, there's the traffic.
VA5 Alpha Echo, we're in clearance order. I'm close standby.
7 Tango Sierra has traffic. Yeah, he's over there. You can't see him, but I can. Am I using default weather and clouds? I am. Chart 757, welcome aboard. Yeah, we got default weather, we got default clouds rocking in here.
717 Tango Sierra, contact SoCal approach 134.2.
34.2, 7 Tango Sierra. Zero. More scenery loading in, more planes loading in. Chop, 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 chop. That's supposed to be fixed in the next major patch. Can't wait. SoCal approach Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra 10,600 descending 900,000 with the Santa Monica weather. One wing low, welcome aboard.
717 Tango Sierra, SoCal approach, roger, expect the VOR runway 21 approach.
We'll expect that, 7 Tango Sierra. Alright. Let's go sync up the heading bug. Oh, nope, that's the gear. We don't want to put the gear down. Sync the heading bug up. Go to heading mode real quick. And we'll delete the arrival. Insert arrival. VOR 21. On the Chemo 3. LHS. And let's get this approach loaded in. VOR Alpha. Is that going to get me low enough? Yeah, it's not going to get me low enough. Okay, not from Elmu, none. Yeah, so the cloud base is reporting, or the ceiling's reporting at 900 feet. This has a minimum of... This has minimums of 1,400 feet. That's not going to get me in, so I'm going to request the RNAV runway 21. So call approach Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra. I'd like to request the RNAV 21. I don't think the VOR is going to get us in there tonight.
717 Tango Sierra, Roger. Expect the RNAV runway 21.
7 Tango Sierra. Alright. Damn it. Let's take the heading book back up. Go to heading mode. Up you out again. Back to SMO. Delete arrival. Let's try this again. SMO, insert arrival. RNAV, runway 21. And chemo, LHS, none.
434 Echo Papa, contact LA Center 134.65.
Okay, so we're back where we started. So yeah, the ceilings, the minimums were above the ceilings for that particular approach. Or the ceilings, I should say, were above the... The ceilings were below the minimums for that approach. There was no way that we were going to get in there. However, the RNAV, runway 21 approach, coming into Santa Monica.
Louis Airport.
Towers 20.1. We go from darts to Moy, so on and so forth. 4,200 feet of darts, 3,000 at Mavi, 1340 at Mipti, and so on. We'll be flying the LNAV, VNAV minimums, which are 400 feet, or 567 AGL. 567 is our minimum descent altitude. And we're good to go. This plane will do a VNAV. We'll do a VNAV approach, kinda. I think. Well, I think it technically is like an LNAV assisted, but whatever. We're gonna call it a VNAV approach today.
434 Echo Papa, LA Center.
So yeah, that's gonna be the approach. In the event of a missed approach, we're going to fly to the KPOB intersection, and then fly to Sadie, and then hold at Sadie. Hopefully, it doesn't come to that because I don't really want to do any of that. I think we'll be okay. I wonder when the Quality Wing 787 will be released. When it's done. Flying Tail Dragger, good to see you, Justin. Happy Friday, man.
$177 Tango November.
Yeah, they haven't given any dates for Flight Factor's A320, other than likely soon. I'm not sure we're going to get the right weather coming in here, but we'll see. Thanks for the great streams. And Bluesmaster 2000 here for 3 months. He says, Catstrator, thanks for the great streams. Always fun. Quite a few good streamers out there. I love the Explain videos from you. Bluesmaster, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers, my friend. Thank you. How realistic is this plane to the real thing? Couldn't tell you. Never flown an Eclipse before. I will tell you the same thing that I've said. I'll say the same thing I say for any other plane. Don't fly a plane in Flight Simulator because you're looking to mimic the real thing, because it will never happen. Now that I am almost done with my PPL, I can tell you that no matter how hard they try, they don't do a very good job of mimicking a real airplane. They come close. They come within, say, 90%, but that last 10% is humongous. That last 10% makes all the difference in the world, and they just won't. You just aren't going to capture that. So I couldn't tell you whether this is close or not. Sorry. Matt, 1997 Air, good to see you, man. I had a great vacation. We just got done talking about the vacation, so if you go back and listen to like the entirety of this flight later, that'll be all vacation talk. The next flight we're gonna do PPL talk. I've lost my races C. Oddbod, that's because you've been here for 6 months now.
7 Tango Sierra, center maintain 7,000.
7,000, 7 Tango Sierra. Oddbod, you've been here for 6 months now, so you lost the races C and you get the next tier. 7,000 feet. And vertical speed mode. Down we go. Traffic off to our left here. Alright. Took the auto throttle off. I'm going to drop the speed back. I need to remember what the speeds are for this thing.
7 Tango Sierra traffic, 9 o'clock and 3 miles northwestbound up to Gate 8,400 type of knob.
Negative on the traffic, 7 Tango Sierra. It's a little late for us to get that call. He's literally no factor now. I think we're okay, though. Alright, I need to find speed. So we'll come down here to the utilities, checklist, menu, checklist, references, V-speeds, great. Let's see, I'm looking for approach. Final approach is 99 knots. Okay. That's all I cared about. Terrain map up in front of us now. Gonna speed back a touch. I don't think that the ceilings are gonna be represented here. I think X-Plane is gonna fail us on this one. Because it looks like we're below the cloud base already. Santa Monica is reporting 900 overcast, but LEX is 3,800.
Retard.
LEX is scattered 1,300, broken 3,800. I don't know, we'll see. Tylenol with Wings, 4 months. Welcome back, he says. Tylenol with Wings, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Appreciate it. This is all ortho scenery. Yeah, we're at zoom level 17 right now. All right. I don't know. Santa Monica might be next. So we're going to pump in Santa Monica. Actually, I'll put Santa Monica Tower on nav 2 or com 2. Tower is 120.1, 12010. So when we're sent over to Tower, we'll go Mike and Monitor over to 2. But now we're flying over Whiteman. And then Burbank. Got Van Nuys. I thought about doing Van Nuys, but Van Nuys is kind of overdone. You never go to Santa Monica. Nobody goes to Santa Monica. Giggity giggity. Traffic. Dookie Duke, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Have a nice flight. Quick question. Your PFD, MFD, is they something totally made up, or is there avionics package looks like that because it's not a G1000? Yes. This is a Dynon Skyview. So it's not the Dynon Skyview is not the avionics package that would appear in an Eclipse, but this is a real, like, these are Dynon Skyviews, and then these are both Garmin units. I don't know what the numbers are on these guys, but yeah, they're all like, so these Dynon units are uncertified, and these Garmin units are certified avionics. So they do exist. Further descent soon would be nice. Oh, here we go.
7 Tango Sierra. Just going to maintain 4,000 at start to clear RNAV, runway 21 approach.
Got a 4,000 cleared RNAV, 21 approach at darts, 7 Tango Sierra.
434, flip off the contact Las Vegas approach 125.98.
Okay, make our way down, get the speed back. Just jerk that speed back, get it under about 180 knots so we can start getting some flappage out. Remember the Garmin GTNs, PFD looks so odd. Yeah, so it's not perfectly modeled, but it's pretty well modeled. But yeah, these are, if you look up Dynon Skyview, D-Y-N-O-N Skyview, you'll be able to find those. They're based off of G1000s. They're similar to G1000s, but they're uncertified avionics. Possum 1 here for 7 months. Get us down safely. He says we're all counting on you. Possum 1, thank you very much for your continued support. If you're counting on me, you're probably counting on the wrong person. Flyboy F117 here for 4 months. 4 months, he says, welcome back, Ty. Thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Appreciate it. Do you know why the devs chose to use the Dynons instead of the default stack? I think because they already had the Dynons built. They had the Dynons built out for other planes that they had done. And I think it was just easier to use this avionics stack. Otherwise, it would have been a lot more development time to make, you know, the proper Eclipse stack. Which is, you know, it's a bummer, and it is what it is. I'm not super concerned about it, but I can see where some people might get upset.
Echo Papa, expect visual approach runway 1 out of right.
All right, get ourselves leveled out here, get speed down. Once we cross darts, we'll start on this approach. We'll see if we get some clouds as we get in there close to Santa Monica. I'm not holding out much hope that we will. Unless we get something like right over top of the field. The G3000, I think it's better than the G1000, but... Heli Pilots, good to see you, Chris. Happy Friday, man. Welcome aboard and all that good stuff. Maybe the G3000 is better here. Yeah. I mean, the thing is like the G1000 is super freaking clunky. Like, it's not really an intuitive piece of instrumentation to use, but that's basically aviation for you.
Maintain 1,000, expect visual approach only 1 mile.
Alright, 500 feet. So we got 3,000 to move. So we'll just start a nice, easy descent here. We'll go approach flaps. I do have the field already, which is disappointing. I was actually hoping we'd get a nice descent out of here. Oh, there. Oh, we got... I can probably do approach. So I have my VNAV guidance that's popped up now as we've turned in on this. I can see we're a little bit high right now. Not the Vow dude's kind of high, but we're a little high. So we should pick up this glide slope.
434 Echo Pop,
yep.
Gliding 110.
So the plane has now picked up that fake glide slope that's generated. That's the VNAV glide slope, and is it's bringing us in. Okay, so the event of a missed approach, we're going to go to
maintain 9,000.
5,000 feet.
What's up, 17 on November, traffic 9 o'clock in 3 miles westbound out of gates 1,900.
Right. Look at that. That looks nice. Wish the draw distance was a little higher right now, but whatever. I'll take what I can get.
The 717 Tango Sierra. Contact Santa Monica Tower 120.1.
Tower 120.1, 7 Tango Sierra.
177 Tango November, no. Remain this frequency.
Okay, we got traffic. Must be helicopters down in the city. Santa Monica Tower, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, RNAV 21. There's a final approach fix if we cross. Let's put the gear down. Get the speed back. Go flaps full.
Burbank Tower, November 385 Alpha Echo 15, fully ready IFR.
You can see some of the kind of low wispy clouds here, but
Alpha Echo Burbank Tower, wind 18010.
X-plane weather has let me down.
15 clear for takeoff, 5 Alpha.
Flying a flight logic, good to see, man. Happy Friday, Tyler. All right, my airplane. Santa Monica Tower, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra in the RNAV 21.
Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, Santa Monica Tower 1240 at 7 runway 21, clear land.
Clear to land runway 21, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. Alright, we're a little low right now. So crank off that flight director.
320, runway 25, correction, runway
Get ourselves lined up for the runway here.
The 434 Echo Papa, Las Vegas Airport, 9 o'clock, 12 miles reporting sir. The 434 Echo Papa.
Okay, final approach
right,
checklist. Gears down, 3 green. Flaps are down
7,000.
and indicated. Lights are set. Runways in sight. Clearance has been received. We are landing. I got 3 red and 1 white right now. I'd like to see 2 white, 2 red here. Hold up just a little bit. Inspiration Aviation, welcome aboard. This is the Eclipse 550 NG by Aerobask.
Las Vegas Tower, Sun Country 320, runway 26 right, ready for departure.
Sun Country 6, correction, Sun Country 320, Las Vegas.
All right.
Runway 26 right, clear for takeoff.
We're good.
Runway 26 right, clear for takeoff. Sun Country 320.
35 Alpha Echo contact. So
You can see that overcast layer hanging over the field. It actually might be pretty close to what the METAR is reporting. It's just not hanging much over downtown there.
SoCal departure radar contact, line maintain 5,000.
We're looking for smooth as butter. Well, you know, I'll take smooth as sandpaper. What you're looking for and what you're getting are 2 different things. Good approach, though. I'm happy with this.
35 Alpha Echo.
Though it's not necessarily difficult to do the 10-mile straight-end visual approach. 500 checked. This one's payware. Used to be free, then they updated it, now it's payware.
The 434 Echo Papa, turn right heading 240.
If you do exclamation point airplane, you can see the a link to the plane.
Negative.
Or exclamation point plane. Feel bad for the guy whose house is right there on final. He's gonna buzz it.
385 Alpha Echo, climb, maintain 9,000.
30, 20, 10.
The 385 Alpha Echo, click direct twine, resume on navigation.
Butter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Santa Monica Airport. We're going to go to Atlantic.
So 17 Tango Sierra, safe parking.
Atlantic Aviation, 7 Tango Sierra.
So 17 Tango Sierra, roger, turn right, taxi parking via Alpha, remain this frequency.
Right, parking Alpha, your frequency, 7 Tango Sierra. We'll see you in a few. Punch it, Chewie, let's go. Come on.
3.
Is this where I'm going?
John Wayne clearance, good evening. Skyhawk 2060 Foxtrot IL.
No, we're going over there,
Burbank
okay.
with the numbers.
Alright, landing lights off.
434 Echo Papa,
Strobe light
turn left,
off.
heading 090.
Turn him down a little bit there. I'd say that's one successful flight. Brennan 1018, good to see you, buddy. Has been a while. Griggsy 800, welcome aboard. All right. We'll go down past this this jet over here.
434 Echo Papa, turn left heading 040, join the runway 1 left, localizing.
It's like all the spots are taken by airplanes. We'll just kind of fit our way in here. It's a busy airport. That one seems a little big to be using Santa Monica, but what do I know?
Departure, radar contact, climb maintain, flight level 190.
Turn him off. Only work like that, right? Taxi that off. And we'll go ahead and turn engine number 2, engine number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Welcome to Santa Monica Airport. The local time is 5:53 p.m. Full park break. All right, we're here. I love this plane so much. That was fun. That was good. Yeah. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to do the flight. We're going to head out to Sedona next. Be a little bit longer flight, I believe. A little longer than one that we just did. Although we're going to have the wind at our back, so it should be okay. That was good. It's good. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. So, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to step away for a couple minutes here. Go stretch the legs, take a leak, get myself some drink, and we'll be back here in a moment. So if you guys are taking off, thank you very much for joining me. Uberbot's here. Good. It says GG not totaling the Eclipse. Heyo. Thank you very much, Uber. I appreciate it, buddy. If you guys are taking off, thank you very much for joining me. If you're sticking around, we'll see you here in about 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes. And I'll come back and we'll plan for the second flight, and then off we go. So, hey, we'll be right back. Which one do I want to use? How about you?
Retard, retard, retard. 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 Retard, retard, retard.
All right. We still got people here. You guys stuck around. Tyson Harris, good to see you, man. Happy Friday. Steve PHL, good to see you, man. Oh, we got some subs. Flight Logic here for 8 months. Oh, let's kill the music first. Flight Logic here for 8 months. Flight Logic says, I just want my name in the lights and as an element on the overlay of the overlay hype. Dude, I like the little thing. I like that. I like that. That. Nope. That. That. Right there. There we go. That thing right there. I like that. It took me a long time to put that together, so you better damn well like it. Nick Bolus here for 8 months. He says, welcome back. Thank you very much, Nick Bolus. And Steve PHL here for 5 months. Steve PHL says, ass-tastic. Okay, then. Cheers to the three of you guys. Thank you very much for your continued support. I appreciate it. Team Macro says, I'm looking for an air combat game to play, but this will do while I browse. Well, this is not an air combat game, that's for sure. Anyway, welcome back. We're here for part number 2. We're going to go Santa Monica out to Sedona. Pretty cool little flight, actually. Farmer Medic here for 5 months. He says, gotta love the catstrator. Farmer Medic, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. I appreciate it. JC Willem is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. I want my name in the lights for all the wrong reasons. I don't even know what that means. Here for part number 2. Santa Monica out to Sedona. Neat little flight plan this thing put together. So it looks like the departures out of here take us out and then around and south, east. Kind of cool. It's going to take us over John Wayne. It's going to then take us over Palm Springs and then up to Needles and then on from there. And I'm kind of excited about this little departure. Like I've never come out of I've never flown out of SoCal this way. So this will be kind of unique. And looking at the departure, there's no like altitude restrictions that we really have to care about. Yeah, it's just kind of like let's go. Let's do this. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm thrilled. I'm always stoked. But yeah, so let's pop back inside this thing. It's Eclipse 550 NG by Aerobask, one of my absolute favorite planes. And we're on the ground at Santa Monica right now. So we're going to call Santa Monica ground up 121.9er and have them give us our clearance. So 12190, transfer that over. Turn that volume up, put ourselves on mic 1, mic 2. Or mic 1, mic 1, monitor 1.
385 Alpha Echo contact, southbound approach 128.1.
You wonder why the Blind Fox, good to see you. I'm not sure what Tyler's talking. Oh, real quick, I couldn't get this before you're focused on landing. Why are the Dynons considered uncertified? So the Dynons are uncertified because they haven't gone through the FAA hurdles to become certified avionics. So what that does is it makes them cheaper, but it means that they're generally it means that they can only be used in experimental airplanes. So yeah, but they haven't gone through the hurdles to become FAA certified avionics, so they're uncertified avionics. It's good to see you too, Tyson Harris. Thank you, buddy. Is that a G5 in front of you? I don't actually know. I'm not very good with my private. Excuse me, I'm not very good with my private jets. They have some stuff that's certified, yes, but I don't think the Skyview is certified. I don't believe so. Can I put chat on stream? No. I don't see that putting the chat on the stream actually adds anything to the stream. No problem, Blind Fox.
Clear for takeoff 20 right at Kilo 60 Foxtrot.
Okay, so we're Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra. We're going to be IFR to Sedona. Santa Monica ground, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, IFR to Sedona.
717 Tango Sierra, Santa Monica ground, roger, clearance request, standby.
SMO to SEZ.
320 to 29 Palms County, altimeter 29.
I had a great time on vacation, yes, thank you. On mobile, but watching TV through PS3. Sweet. But yeah, I mean, in some limited cases, the chat might be useful, but unfortunately, I don't want to put it up there. Sorry, dude. Casual Gamer 907 is good to see you. I think you can put chat up next to the video on the PS4, right? Like, I think you can actually have like on the Xbox, you can definitely have them side by side. On the Fire Stick, you can have them side by side. What are the odds they'll actually let us fly this departure? I've been drinking. I look best hide. It's all good, Griggsy. What are you drinking, man?
Sometimes there, click to the Sedona Airport, PV5 departure. The transaction then as file, climb via City except maintain 3000. Squawk 5042.
Cleared to Sedona PV5. CLE transition as filed. Climb via City except maintain 3000 and 5042 in the box for 7 Tango Sierra.
17 Tango Sierra. Feedback correct.
All right, let's put you away. Come on down here. Get the sucker programmed. So you can program this using the Garmin units here. I am just not comfortable with that. I don't know these units very well. I'm far more comfortable using the Dynon displays. So you can program them using the Garmin displays, or you can do them like I do and use the Dynon. Your choice. So we'll go to delete flight plan. Insert waypoint. We're at KSMO. And departing from 2-1 on the PV4 to CLE. Look at that. Right in there. And then after that, CLE goes to EED. Needles. After Needles is going to be a airway. Joining Julie J6. Taking J6 to DRK. And then from DRK, we're going to KSEZ. Insert waypoint, KSEZ. Perfect. Okay, that's our flight plan. Get that punched in. Close you. Let's go ahead and add people and fuel. Disconnect the GPU. Add a bunch of gas. Not quite that much gas. There we go. Fill that sucker up. And close the door. And we'll go ahead and make sure the park brake is engaged, which it is. Throttles are back at idle, and we'll start engine number 2. Always comes through louder than you expect. I see Chemo. That's my go-to star into KLAX and X-Plane 11. There you go. Well, we flew the Chemo into, we flew the Chemo arrival into Santa Monica. Puerto Rico, good to see you, man. Happy Friday. All right. Engine number 1 coming up. Griggsy's also drinking wine. I approve. Jay Falcon, good to see you, man. Casual Gamers drinking a PBR. There you go. How are the frames of the Eclipse? Middle of the road. It's not super hard on the frames, but it's also not as easy as some other planes are. So it's kind of like, and we're in a very, like, I've tuned my entire sim for this particular area that we're in right now. So the frame rate's not as high as it should be, not as high as it will be, but that's just because of, you know, that's just because of physics, I guess. I don't know. The frames will get higher once we get further west. But yeah, I mean this plane in particular is kind of, I would say, middle of the road as far as the frame rate goes. Okay, 2 good engines, and electrical's good. Lights are all set. That's set. We will set this guy as well. So we'll start off at 200 knots for our cruise climb. I think a 200 should get us all the way up to 350. We'll see. Might have to adjust that a little bit. Let's climb via 6, maintain 3,000. And we'll plan for 2,000 feet per minute initially. Flight director on. We'll go vertical speed mode. We're going to go straight to nav mode. Nav is on sky view, so we're good to go there. Outside, we'll go check flight controls. Full right's good. Full left's good. Left aileron. Right aileron. Full back. Full forward. 1 notch of flaps. Santa Monica ground's 21.9er. Santa Monica Tower is 120.1. Not 204, 10. And the squawk code is 5042. 042. Alt on. There we go. Okay, nav set. Our autopilot is all set. Our transponder's set. Our radios are set. Let's go. Actually, let's grab the weather, then let's go. So I'm gonna do the weather. You know what? I'm gonna just do the weather sky vector. Santa Monica weather 2307, 7 mile visibility over class 900, which is a complete load of crap. Altimeter 29081. Great. Okay. Thing takes so much power just to get it going initially. Santa Monica ground, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra's Atlantic Aviation with the weather for taxi.
Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, Santa Monica ground, runway 21 taxi via Alpha.
21 via Alpha, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra. Okay, nobody writes. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Is X Enviro on? Nope. This is X-Plane's default weather. Default clouds, default weather engine. Blizzard 2002. Take it easy, buddy. Welcome aboard, and we'll see you. Yeah, Santa Monica's reporting overcast 900. That's definitely not what we're seeing right now. Unfortunately. My wife doesn't know that I'm drinking. Okay. Mine knows that I'm drinking. It's my Friday night ritual. If you can fit on the runway, you can have it, says Kiwi. Yeah. Is this plane free? United 4777, good to see you, buddy. This is not a free plane. This is payware over at the org. I think there was a free version of the Eclipse that was out, but it definitely wasn't as feature complete as this one is. I'm still not... Like, X Enviro is still on the shelf until they come up with an update for it.
Bakersfield Ground, Skyhawk 4363 Romeo's at the flight school departing east with uniform.
Oh, that's good water. Ah.
That's aircraft 20 again.
Shoestring FS. It's going pretty well, man.
Romeo.
Happy Friday. It's good to see you.
Departing east from the flight school with uniform.
Recon.
You notice X Enviro does a terrible job at implementing real-world weather into the sim. X-Plane weather's on point. Yeah, X-Plane weather does a really good job. It's usually just a little bit like it's usually up to an hour and a half behind, just because of the way they collect the weather.
Cessna 172.
Coast Pilot says 4 months. Crazy. Coast Pilot, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. Appreciate it. Did I see the solar eclipse? No, actually, I was in the air. I was on my way back to the Azores during the eclipse, and totally did not see it at all. Which was kind of a bummer, but also like there wasn't much of an eclipse to see up here. Like it got a little bit dark outside, but that was about it. All right, 20.1 is tower. Departure is 25.2.
385 Alpha Echo, contact Long Beach Tower 119.4.
Our lights up.
Monte Ground, good evening. November 177 to November is a Charlie 172 at the Transient Parking with information uniform for BFR North.
I love this plane so much.
177 Tango November, Monte Ground, wrong 19, taxi via Alpha Bravo.
19 Alpha.
Saw it on the home way to Washington, Missouri. It was awesome. Oh yeah, dude. Like if you're in Missouri, you had to see it.
Visual 30.
I'm jealous of the people that really got a good view of it. Santa Monica Tower, Eclipse 717, Tango Sierra, short 21.
385 Alpha Echo, Long Beach Tower 190 at 6, runway 30, clear line.
Clear to land 305 Alpha.
717 Tango Sierra, Santa Monica Tower, runway 21, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 21, Eclipse 717, Tango Sierra.
Here, 5 shot contact SoCal.
I see, Duke. That's a bummer. Gaming Reborn, welcome aboard.
Country 3.
All right, clear left.
SoCal approach 126.7.
Clear to the right. Lights. Camera. Yep. Action. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's go. Go flying. Do you want to identify? Engines up. Stable. Power.
Skyhawk 206 here, 5 SoCal approach, Roger, LA, altimeter 2981.
Airspeed.
Country 320, SoCal approach, about the other weather, Palm Springs.
Here's our rotation speed. Positive right gear.
Country 320, expect visual approach, runway 13 right.
I don't think this is quite flying this approach correctly, but whatever. Let's go straight to the autopilot there. One less thing to worry about. Pops can come in. The visible moisture, outside air temperature is almost certainly above freezing, which it is. It's 20 Celsius.
Contact SoCal departure.
Departure, 7 Tango Sierra.
Country 320, just to maintain 7,000.
SoCal departure, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, 2,300, 3,000 PV5.
Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, SoCal departure, radar contact line, maintain 13,000.
I maintain 13,000, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra. Go ahead and accelerate here. We'll go to 190. After takeoff, gears up, lights are out. Flaps are in. Whoops. Now the flaps are in. I thought I put the flaps up. They didn't go. That explains why I was a little sluggish. Yeah, now we got some takeoff performance. We got some climb performance. Hell yeah! Rocket ship mode engaged. The reverse lawn dart. Take you back, put you on map mode. We are good to go. Tim Rody, take it easy, man. Have a great night. Flaps are in-ish. They're in enough, right? Whatever. It's cool. Neverine, welcome back. Just in time for the second flight here. Departure out of Santa Monica. Yeah, well, it was only doing 4,000 feet per minute there because of the because it went fast. Like, so I was at 190 knots, but then I pulled the flaps in, so the plane sped up, and then the plane nosed itself up to try to slow back down to 190. So 2,000 to 2,500 is about what I would expect right now. And that number is just going to keep on going down as we get higher.
717 Tango Sierra, contact LA Center 135.5.
135.5, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. 550. We'll come to the question. Ella is thick. Interesting name. We'll come back to that in a second. Los Angeles Center, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, 8,200, climbing 13,000.
717 Tango Sierra, LA Center, climb 910, flight level 230.
Flight level 230, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra.
4363 Romeo Bakersfield.
All right.
Tower.
How far into getting your license are you?
Eastbound departure.
I'm pretty close. So last night I did the last of my night flying. We checked that off the list there. I have. So I'm all done with my night flying. Literally, the only thing I have to do from an FAA perspective.
Walk 5157.
So literally, the only thing I have to do from an FAA perspective is these green arrows, green arrows, green arrows. I have 2.6 more hours of solo cross country to do. 1.9 hours of solo flight.
10.
And 1.7 hours of total flight time to get myself to the point where the FAA says I can take this exam. So tomorrow I have a long cross country scheduled, and I'm talking like a big, probably almost 3 hours of flying by the time I'm all finished. I'm going to head up to Burlington, Vermont, have lunch with a couple of friends of mine that I haven't seen for a while, and then fly back. And so that's gonna get me caught up then on my solo time, my total time, and my solo cross country time. So what's gonna happen is all those boxes are gonna be checked off green, and I'll be good to go. So after that, what has to happen is
20 just to maintain 4,000.
I am going to this plane's so good. So after that, I have 2 1.5 hour check ride prep sessions with my instructor. And if assuming all goes well by the end of those 2 sessions, I'm going to be able to schedule my check ride. So at this point, I'm probably 2 to 4 weeks away from taking my check ride. It's mostly up to time and finances at this point. I'm taking another trip in a month, so I'd like to try to get it done sometime in the middle of September if I can. Either it gets done like the second week of September, or it doesn't get done until October, just because of the way my travel schedule is going to be for the next month and a half. So. Yeah, I am very, very, very close. So I did the rest of my night flying last night. We did an hour and a half of touch and goes, or stop and goes, I should say. 8 total landings, 1.5 hours total in the air. And yeah, I was pretty. It's pretty good. WTF? Good to see you. Flying out of Rockport, Texas right now is a real trip. I can imagine, dude. Texas is probably crazy right now. Ridiculous, good to see, man. Originally, you were still not crazy about VFR training. How'd that go? Still not remember you were originally not too crazy about the night VFR. Oh, yeah. I don't really care for the night flying. I'll be honest with you. I really am not, like, I'm not really digging all the night flying stuff. I just don't feel like it's super safe. Maybe if I knew the landscape and whatnot a little better, it might be easier to do.
Traffic 12 o'clock is 7 miles opposite direction. It's 14,500 top unknown.
And we're looking for him, 7 Tango Sierra. Got him on the TCAS. He's below us. I think he's climbing, but I think he's climbing slower than we are. Well, he's past us now.
Before 360.
Oh, there he is.
Frequency change approved.
All right, he passes. We're not worried about him. Yeah, so I'm not.
That's 17 November frequency change approved.
I'm not super keen on the night flying. I think I'm gonna. I mean, I'll probably do it when I have to. But it's definitely not one of those things where I'm itching to go out and be like, all right, I'm ready to go do some more night flying, because I don't know that I felt super comfortable with it. Even last night doing touch and goes for an hour, or an hour and a half. Like by the time we were done, I'm like, I'm kind of okay with this. Like the last landing that we did, we simulated lights out. So he turned off my landing lights, he turned off my interior lights, turned off my nav lights, turned completely, like he darkened my plane as much as he could. I had my iPad out, so I still had like GPS speed and that kind of stuff, but I was not really comfortable with landing that plane and not having any lights on. Because the perspective is so weird. And the runway was kind of at a, like the runway's on a hill, and I don't, it just, I don't know, it didn't, like, it just didn't sit well with me. So, like, I'm glad it's something that we have to do. I'm glad that I'm going to be able to fly. Like, I have the option to fly at night, which is not something you have over in Europe, unless you, excuse me, unless you go through and get like the extra bit of certification or the extra rating or whatever for night flying. But, yeah, it's pretty up there though. Like, it's beautiful up in the air at night. That's for sure.
663, you're back correct.
Would you be willing to make a video discussing how you select your...
Sierra, contact LA Center 133.55.
3355, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. Los Angeles Center, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, flight level 188, climbing flight level 230.
717 Tango Sierra, LA Center, climb, maintain flight level 350.
Flight maintain flight level 350, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra.
Someone called with
so slow. Like we're barely past. Like, we're not even past the peninsula here next to LAX, and we're already like in the flight levels. Blind Fox says, "Would you be willing to make a video on discussing how you select your SID stars and approaches for those of us who never get past our PPLs? Didn't get much IFR when I was certified. Didn't know how to make a decision in the sim." Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm not even a PPL. I definitely don't have any instrument experience in the real world. But that being said, I've done a lot of instrument flying in the sim. Your SID, like, doing a video kind of talking about that, I don't know that I'd feel comfortable doing that, but we can talk about it now. Your SID and star selection generally depends on the airport and the direction of flight. At this point, I leave most of my decision up to either ForeFlight, SkyVector, FlightAware, the tech routes within SoCal. Like I leave most of that up to other sources as opposed to trying to come up with one myself. Now I will come up with it myself if I have to, and it's usually just looking at the airport, looking at the direction of flight, and determining like what SID is going to be, what SID or star is going to be the most appropriate for me. As far as the approach goes. So we have a runway that we're going to come in on, right? The runway is going to be whatever the winds are favoring generally. So we want to try to find an approach for that runway. Then you have to look at the ceilings. So if the ceilings are 900 overcast or 900 broken, the ceilings are at 900 feet. So when you're selecting an approach, you better select an approach that has minimums that are below those ceilings. You know, the example that we had coming into Santa Monica was initially he put us on the VOR approach, which had minimums of 1,200 feet, so 1,200 AGL. But Santa Monica was reporting 900 overcast, which means that the minimums would have been 300 feet above the base of the clouds. So by the time we hit the minimums of that approach and got to the point where we'd have to turn around and go to the mist, we'd still be in the soup, or we wouldn't be able to, like, theoretically, we wouldn't be able to see the airport. So we want to make sure that we pick an approach that, number one, we can fly, So if we didn't have an RNAV equipped plane, we certainly wouldn't fly an RNAV approach,
206 here, Fox,
but also one that will get us
7979.
down low enough that we can get into the airport. So usually you want to pick an ILS because that's the easy one. You know, the ILS brings you generally down to 200 feet always. Beyond that,
4363 Romeo,
you know, it
go
kind
ahead.
of depends. Like the preferred approach coming into Santa Monica is always that VOR approach, but if you ask for a GPS approach, they'll give you that too. Burlington kind of close, hour-and-a-half drive. Are you north of Burlington, Dan, or are you like where are you in relation to Burlington? Alpha Quebec Romeo, good to see you, man. Can't believe it's a cat. Is this a Cat 4, man? Is that thing? Last I heard, it was a major hurricane, a Cat 3. I didn't know they got number 4 yet.
Squawk 3453.
That hurricane is going to cause some problems. Like that's going to be like a monumental hurricane.
The 60 here, Fox, try to advise you have the weather at Burbank.
Thought you have a night rating in order to pass sunset, at least here in Canada. Is that the case in the USA? Nope. So in the United States, if you get your PPL, you as part of your training, you do night flying. And when you actually get a PPL, that gives you also the ability to fly at night as well. It's not an additional rating. If you just go for your sport pilot license, then you can't fly at night. But you can fly at night with the PPL. Is 4Flight a payware app? Yes, it is. Night flying with lights out always reminds me of what my instructor told me. When in doubt, cross the threshold, count 1, 2, 3, pull and wait. Yeah, that's pretty much what we did.
Romeo, radar contact 12 miles east of Shafter.
You know, he put me on get on a good attitude. We got a nice attitude. And he's like, if you see the stall light, you know, put the nose down. You're kind of flying up by feel at that point. Because I couldn't see the airspeed indicator. It was too dark. I almost grabbed my flashlight. I'm like, haha, I'll show you. Ghostface, welcome aboard. Take some time getting used to night flying. It's always unsettling in the beginning. That makes sense. And I'm sure I'll do plenty of it because, like, in New England, the sun goes down at 3:30 for half the year. So, like, I'm going to have to do some night flying if I want to actually use my ticket. Thanks for the information. You're welcome, man. I hope it helps. I mean, usually, like, SID Star selection is usually left up to experience. Like, if I'm flying in an area that I'm familiar with and I know which ones to fly, otherwise I just look and see what everybody else is flying and try to do that.
The range is cold at this time.
KEFK. Oh, wow, yeah, that's way up there. Newport State, I see. Well, Dan, maybe I'll try to make it up there at some point. I'm definitely going to be soliciting people that are in New England and figuring out who's where and trying to find places to go and visit people and grab bites to eat and whatnot. So we'll I'm sure that one will be up too because that one looks like it'd be fun to fly into. Why did you choose the Eclipse 550 tonight? I wanted a plane that was easy to fly. I didn't have to think too much about. And this one kind of fit the bill. I know this plane's reliable. I didn't want to have to I didn't want to have to fight with avionics. I didn't want to have to fight with a plane. Like I just wanted something that worked. Good friend of mine owns a marine salvage business. They've already been dispatched to Hurricane Harvey before it hit. Insurance companies knew there would be substantial damage. Oh yeah, there's no question. Like the wind damage, you're going to have your typical hurricane wind damage, which is going to be catastrophic. Like that's going to be bad. The problem is this storm is going to sit on top of Corpus Christi in the southeastern part of Texas for the next 4 days. Like they're going to have whatever rainfall they've got right now is going to continue for 4 days. Like it's insane. Like that's like rainfall on a scale that you just don't ever see anywhere. It's insane. There's my wife. Everybody say hi to Virgo Sin.
No, 63663 Sean Wayne Tower, runway 20 right at Kilo, clip takeoff.
I guess she must be home. Hi. Hello, honey. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Mini Webs, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. As a commercial pilot myself, VFR night flying is not fun at all, at least in my opinion. I love night flying in the RNAV or ILS, but no VFR. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like it's I think it's a little easier. It's a little easier when we can rely on things like 4Flight and whatnot, and it kind of takes some of the. It kind of takes some of the. It kind of takes. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Kind of takes some of the guesswork out of flying, but. Yeah, I don't know. I think flying IFR I'd feel more comfortable, but even still, like single engine over complete darkness where you're not sure, is that a tree? Is that a highway? Is that a lake? Is that an alligator-infested marsh? I don't know. Ella is thick. What do you? How do you say the name of it? Is it Ella is thick? Because that's what it looks like. What do you fly? If you're a commercial pilot, what are you hopping around in?
Southwest 202, read back correct.
Alpha Quebec Romeo, welcome aboard. I was in Florida and it rained 5 inches. Yeah, but Floridians expect that, right? we're talking, and we're not even talking about 5 inches an hour. We're talking 48 inches over the next half of a week. Like they're gonna get like 4 feet of rain in some places, leading up to next Wednesday, and they're not like the weather forecasters aren't even sure what that storm is gonna do by like next Tuesday or Wednesday. They have no idea. Like the forecast models don't go out that far. Like 4 feet. That is a huge, like, that would be a monumental snowstorm.
Yeah,
never mind the fact that it's going to be rain. Like, it's going to be, this is going to be a really bad one. And I hope that everybody's okay. I hope that if anybody is here and down in that area, they stay safe. Which is weird to meet someone in the stream from that small town. Oh, you guys must, there we go. It's a small world after all. Yeah, dude, it's terrifying. And tropical storm winds for that long. Yeah, it's going to be tropical storm the whole time. There's no guarantee that it won't push back out to sea and become a hurricane again. Like, I've heard people up in Louisiana that are saying, like, this thing may come back out and then hit us. Like, I'm guessing, oh yeah, Ian, yeah, okay. You might have to deploy it. I'm sure Peter's going to end up down there. Josh, good to see you, man. Happy Friday, Josh. Josh knows all about flying at night. Yeah, yo, welcome aboard. It says 13 inches of snow equals 1 inch of rain. Makes sense. Yeah, I believe it. I don't know what the exact conversion is, but yeah. And that like we've had like 3 or 4 inches of rainfall in an evening, and that's huge. I can't even fathom how bad it's going to be down there.
663 contact SoCal departure.
Qantas 737-800 Australia, flying domestic. Used to be international as a first officer in an A380. Now a first officer domestically. Don't get me wrong, long haul is fun, but domestic is slightly harder sometimes and funnier too. I could see that. I think I'd rather fly domestically than fly internationally. Like I'm sure those long hauls make the money, but sitting there staring at the autopilot for like 12 hours at a time sounds less exciting when you're in the air than it is right here. Because at least right here I can have a drink. What are my thoughts on this plane? Do you recommend it? Absolutely. This is one of my favorite planes in the entire sim. One of my probably my favorite plane that's come out in the last year. I would highly recommend this one to anybody. Truly, like even if I wasn't a tester and didn't get it for free and whatever else, like I would recommend getting this plane. Josh, man, how you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you for a while. Are you gonna stream at some point? We need to get the. I missed the 24-hour marathons, Josh. I miss waking up at like 8 or 9 in the morning and having you be live. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hop up here. I'm gonna go do some flights with Josh here for a couple of hours, because he's gonna be up. We know for the next 30 hours.
2060 Foxtrot, you're 2 miles from Silex, turn right, heading.
I hate the Hawker FMC. I'm not a big fan of that Rob Wilson FMC. We've had those on stream here a couple times. They've been pretty not great. How are we? God, we're not even out of SoCal yet. Jesus, man. That departure's pretty cool, but like we've just flown over we've just flown over John Wayne. Like, holy crap, dude. The departure was really neat going out over the sea like that, but yeah, it's not a quick flight here. Not a quick way out of out of the area.
663, turn right, 8360.
Vasco Point, how this airplane handles in terms of performance. Hello, Vasco. Good to see you, man. Hello from Boston. I would say this plane's middle of the road. It's not the worst plane in terms of performance, but it's also not the best. It is comparable probably to the JAR design A320, A330, at least in later patches. What else would I compare it to? It's probably not far off of like the updates that have been released for the 727, because I know that the 727 lost some performance when those updates came out. And I'd say this is probably very similar. I'm simming now. You might have caught me on a good night. Ah. Watch the new EasyJet pilot training on YouTube. You will rethink EasyJet. All right. In a good way or a bad way? If they're putting it on YouTube, I assume it's a good way. I can't find J6 from Needles. Well, make sure you're on the high chart. So make sure you go to the world high chart and then right there. So there's Needles. If you're on the world high chart, there's J6 coming out due east. I mean, you basically just draw a straight line to Drake, and that takes you right there. But make sure you're in the high chart or you're not going to find J6. You're very welcome, Bosco. It's pretty. I haven't had any issues with it. It definitely is a little lower on the frames than I would like. Like, I would love it if it performed a little bit better. But we just flew out of the most intense area. We flew out of the area where I have tuned my entire sim, and I still maintained probably 28 to 30 frames or more most of the time. So I was pretty. I'm okay with the way the performance has been. Oh, that's Riverside. All right. So that's Riverside. March. Ontario is like... I guess Ontario's kind of behind us, isn't it?
177 Tango November, just be advised, while you're in a Charlie, you can't have your transponder on standby. You need to have it in the on mode. Runway 8, you're clear land.
I'm in a Hawker. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't help you there. I swore that thing off a long time ago. Why are we having temperature problems in here? That's odd.
I mean, 235.
I could probably pull the speed back a little bit here too.
26 right, quick takeoff.
See if we can get back to 500 feet per minute. No, so we'll pull the speed back to 185. Try to baby this thing up to 35,000 feet. We should be able to get 35, no problem. I don't think we get much higher than 35 though. Pressure of the Hurricane is 941 millibars. That's pretty low, right? Currently, I'm in Amarillo, so I'm safe, but I'm still in Texas. You're as safe as you're going to be in Texas. I don't think Amarillo is going to have any issues with the hurricane tonight. Call it a hunch.
November taxi to Millionaire via Delta.
Plane over slowed down there, overcompensated a bit. Trying to get itself back on point. We'll go 180 here. I mean, I know we're going to make it to 35. It's just going to take us a little bit of time to get up there. A Texas Lifer 2 and make it just the last few hurricanes? Yeah. Ghostface, what part of Texas then? Texas is a big state. Torbidator, good to see you, Torb. Happy Friday, sir. Welcome aboard. Speed is dropping. I know. I'm dropping the speed. I'm basically trying to maintain like Mach 0.5 here in the climb. Because we need to keep somewhat of like we're supposed to keep 500 feet per minute on the climb rate. Legally. I guess I can push the power forward a bit too. Yeah, we're gonna pull the EGT a little too high, so I can keep it in the yellow, just not in the red. See how much power we can squeeze out of these things before they light themselves on fire. Nope, there's the red. Let's come back just a touch then. $2,000 feet to go. I think I can. I think I can. Computer Flying, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Good to see you. Says Torb. RC Flyer, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. RC Flyer. When I was flying in Indiana, man, I saw a airfield that was just for RC planes. They had 2 little paved runways that were in a T orientation, and big freaking X's on either side of them. They'd be like, don't try to land here if you're not an RC plane. But it was pretty cool. The instructor I was with pointed that out. I'm like, that's real neat. I kind of want to find it. Like, I kind of want to find it and go there. I think it'd be fun.
Bear 235.
175. We got a ways to go before we stall a plane. We almost got this thing to altitude anyway.
Got 63663, turn right, 8040.
I should have stopped at like 33,000, I think. But yeah, I was surprised to actually see a paved set of, like a paved area where they were running these planes. Very, very surprised by that. 1,000 to go. Just keep the speed coming back, keep the climb going. Shooting for about Mach 0.5. We got the RC pods line up for final and their runway, then go missed.
Yeah, 206.
That would be funny, but maybe a bit unsafe too. Don't get there. You'll get a bad bug, and it will burn a hole in your wallet. I already have enough expensive hobbies, man. Clock Monkey, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Yeah, I probably don't need to. Adopt an RC hobby because that would maybe upset my wife. Like, she's okay with the flying because she directly benefits from me having a pilot's license, or will directly benefit from me having a pilot's license. The same could not be said for RC flying. We're almost there. Google's making an airplane. A new Concorde, the boom plane. All right. Here we go, 35,000 feet. We made it. All right, let's see if the temps come down a little bit here as we speed up. I'm not even sure how fast we're going to get. We should be able to get like 60 or 70 knots over the ground.
Iberia 235, LS Center, climb maintain, flight level 230.
And I think the temps should come down as our indicated airspeed comes up, but I mean, that would make sense logically. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Oops, crap.
You want to be a far east, San Luis?
Freaking mouse wheel, man. Rob Mack, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. If you don't mind me asking, where did you happen to meet your wife? Match.com. On the internet, like everybody else. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit it. What is my opinion of Air Manager with instruments on a separate monitor? I have no idea what that is, Kayak King. I flew my RC planes of Floyd Bennett across the bay from JFK Airport. I get to see airliners take off and land. Oh, that's cool, man.
Turn right heading 170, doing a tune 0 right, localizer.
Ars Bubba, welcome aboard. He says, I love how much you owned that.
Turn right heading 170, doing the 20 right.
Hey, man, what am I gonna say? I paid for love and it worked.
663. Turn right heading 170, doing the 20 right, localizer.
Just got a plane landed for a runway when I was flying my RC plane. Scared the shit out of me.
That's right, heading
Could have been really bad if not for my spotter telling me where to go to stay away from. 25-pound RC plane would do a good bit of damage if it were to hit something. Yeah, it would. Would 4-flight be worth it for flight simming and potentially being used 6 months when I start flight training? So, Pilot Meister, that's exactly what I did. I started using and getting used to 4-flight about 6 months before I started my real world flight training. I personally found it to be super helpful, but it is also quite the large investment to make for really just flight simming. So, I mean, it's when you talk about things that are worth it, it's a difficult conversation to have because, like, my value proposition of $100 is very different from other people's value proposition of $100. You know, like it's just different. So to ask me, hey, is this $100 worth it? I'm probably going to say, yeah. Like if I spent $100, it's probably worth it, right? But it's not going to be the same for everybody. So that's a long-winded way of saying I thought it was useful. Your mileage may vary.
Climb maintain flight level 360, Iberia 235.
Who's checking on the status of the I-3 Burbank?
Yeah, that would be terrifying though if you were in that position on Shell Pass. I would love, like, I need to meet somebody that has the RC planes because that would be fun. Like I want to get, so when I get my license, I want to also get my drone license too. Commercial drone license, so I would love to be able to operate drones and potentially make a few bucks off of it. But even just to be able to like safely and legally operate a drone.
63663.
I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know if I'd actually buy a drone, but it'd be cool to have that, you know, have that little bit tacked on. What does ForeFlight have versus Navigat charts and maps? ForeFlight is a certified electronic flight bag. It has all of the charts in the United States. It's probably a bit more intuitive and user-friendly. But like, if you wanted to fly in the real world, you could not use Navigraph. That's what ForeFlight has. But Navigraph has worldwide charts. Like if you want to fly in Europe, if you want to fly in, you know, Asia, Australia, whatever, you can get those charts off Navigraph. You won't get that on ForeFlight. I mean, I guess you can if you do ForeFlight and a Jeppesen subscription, but then we're talking like $800, and that's probably not worth it. Also, consider how often you use ForeFlight. If you fly regularly, it's definitely worth it. So much more easier than paper charts. Yes. In the real world, whoops, sorry about that. In the real world, I would say definitely use ForeFlight. I think I don't see any reason to use paper in the real world. You know, learn paper, do all that, do your, you know, half dozen or so whatever flights with paper, and then have the paper there as a backup, but just do your flying off of the electronic stuff. McSheedy Pilot says ForeFlight is awesome. I agree.
63663 contact.
McSheedy Pilot, were you the one who was talking to me about going to Glen Falls at some point to the Aviator restaurant, or was that somebody else? Because my original plans for tomorrow's flight fell through, and I was gonna end up going to the Aviator solo, but then a couple of I chatted with a few of my friends, and I'm heading to Burlington instead. But I was trying to remember if it was you that was near the Aviator, or if it was somebody else. It was you, okay. So I almost sent you a message like let's meet up for lunch, but I changed my plans. I'm sorry, but yeah, we'll have to get that going here in a few weeks at some point. I like the Aviator. The burgers were really good there. And it was quite affordable too, which is nice. I suspect it's not as affordable for dinner because their menu looked pretty fancy, but definitely was nice for dinner or for lunch. I'm not sure why this thing's running so hot too. Welcome back, Mr. Max. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about Burlington. It's going to be a healthy flight. Like, it's going to be an hour, 20-minute, or almost an hour and a half flight for me to get up there. But it'll be my first time at a Class Charlie. I'll get to meet up. You know, it's my first time kind of on a mission, right? I'm going to meet up with some friends for lunch. And yeah, I'm super, super, super jazzed to go up there. And yeah, it's going to be a beautiful flight getting up there too. If you're interested in RC planes, you should look into the Real Flight RC Simulator. I think Jeff has done some videos on that, hasn't he? RC Flyer, do you know? Like I know Jeff Faviano's played around with some of the RC planes and whatnot. I don't know quite to what extent. In the Uber on the way to a friend's birthday. All right, man. I hope she's cute. I found my real-world flight experience and aerodynamic knowledge from flight training helped me grasp RC flying. The hardest part of RC was handling the left-right reversal when flying towards myself. Yeah, I can see that. I want to do it sometime. I want to go. I gotta try to hook up with some folks that do it here in New England, and see if I can leech off of their experience and their fun. He has. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I think like one of those requires you to have the big ass controller, right? That, like it's like you own. I think Atomic Frog has messed around with that too, where it's like you do the RC planes and you have like the big ass RC plane controller that hooks into your PC and that's your gateway into using their software. Here's me and all my planes, says None Shall Pass. Let me see here. Oh, dude. Dude. Hey, None Shall Pass. Send me a PM with that. If you don't mind. You don't need that. Send me a private message with that link. I wanna pull it up here on stream. I don't have a way to get it up from my main PC or from my chat PC over to the main one here. It's a dude, but he has a lot of lady friends. All right, man. That's all that's important, right? That is the regular RC controller. Got it. Matt says, took a break and came back. Am I interested in getting into RC planes? Okay. I would love to dink around with them on somebody else's dime. As far as me actually owning and getting into them, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. Like I couldn't do it right now. I think maybe down the road, maybe it's something we could play around with, but right now I definitely couldn't do it. It can get very expensive. Yeah, that's what I hear. Like I have some friends that have messed around with RC cars, like the monster trucks and kind of that type of stuff. And like even those are expensive, and those don't even leave the ground. First time I asked my current wife out on a date, I asked, "Hey, do you want to get high?" And then we flew to Martha's Vineyard for breakfast. I like that. Yeah, my wife is definitely into the flying, so that the first Discovery flight that I did, she went up with me, and I think she kind of got hooked on it there. So, yeah, I mean, she's into it. She enjoys it, and that's super awesome. She actually went up with me last night she went up last night for an hour and a half of touch and goes, and it's like that's not very exciting, and that actually is kind of maybe even going to make you sick at some point. But she seemed to enjoy it, so whatever. No complaints here. Unfortunately, she missed she missed the dual cross countries because those are the cool flights. Thank you, None Shall Pass. All right, so None Shall Pass. Big D sent us over this picture of him and one of his RC planes. Is this your only RC plane, or is this do you have more than? I think it's so cool. I love the fact you have a fake pilot too, man. Like that is awesome. Like your shirt too. Look at that thing. Ah, did you paint that yourself, or did you have that painted? Yeah, my wife doesn't want me to spend any more money. Find an RC friend with a buddy box. You can fly the plane and be less likely to crash. Yeah, I mean that would be the thing I would want to do. Like I would feel very apprehensive about flying somebody else's very expensive RC plane. But I like even just to go hang out while they flew it. Like I'd be totally fine with that too. Crash somebody else's plane, write a check, walk away. I did plan the cross-country flights with her, yeah. I mean, it happened. It's just, like, the weather was good. Like, whatever. Just had to be out of town those 2 days. That's one of 3 that I have. It's the biggest one I have. It's all painted at the factory. Okay. Best part of the flight is when the plane is on final with the flaps down, plane is shaking, and the result, touchdown bump, treat myself every time. Yeah, that's not my favorite part of the flight. I mean, on a commercial airline, it's whatever, man. I love looking out the window. So the nice part about the approach when you're looking out the window is that hey, like you always have something to see. As far as a small plane and kind of taking myself around, like I'd rather be up in cruise, just looking out. How to upload a picture of my plane? You can go to imgur.com, upload it there, and then post a link here in chat. If you go, I think None Shall Pass Big D linked to the his plane up above in chat. If you go to that website, you can upload a picture there. Foam RC plates are great. Foam
Burbank
RC
Flights,
plates
on the
are
Parker
great
flight
these days.
110.
Easy to fly
NKB
compared to the heavy
Parker
wooden
Blow
planes.
4000.
Much cheaper and are easier to
Parker
repair.
frequency
Aha!
134.2.
Might be the kind of thing to do then.
12355.
I remember Jeff did some videos. I think it was last year playing with an RC boat, and that looked pretty fun too. Like I want to mess around with a drone though. Like I want to get a drone with a decent camera on it, and take that traveling with me because I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, 63663 tested the Parker via Bravo.
I'd start with that before I'd even consider an RC plane though. I remember that video. Yeah, because it was one of them they did where his buddy had a drone, and he was rocking his boat, and it was pretty cool because you got some really neat shots of him with the boat over the water. Motion RC. I'm gonna link that. I'm gonna check that out later. Mensha, our RC Flyer.
111 Delta Yankee Bakersfield ground. Commission request standby.
I literally have no money or time to do any of this stuff, but I'll still check it out. Because I'm a masochist like that. Radio Engine Corsair on YouTube sounds amazing.
111 Delta Yankee.
In terms of systems, Eclipse is on the top, but which systems are simulated? I would say that the systems are kind of light in this plane. It's only using the X-Plane default stuff, so. But I don't know to what extent. Like the circuit breakers aren't simulated, so you don't have like a full electric simulation. I don't know to what extent the pressurization and the hydraulics and everything else are simulated, but I'd say this is kind of your average, like your average simulation. It's obviously not a study level, whatever the hell that means, study level simulation, but it's done pretty well. DV Lurie, any chance you could share your audio setup? Your audio quality is some of the best around. Yeah, I use so all of my audio equipment is down below. The chain is oh man, do I have the microphone? I don't think I have the new microphone listed yet. I'll make sure I update. I'll make sure I update all that information if I haven't. Let me pull up Amazon here. I'll tell you what the chain is. So the microphone is an Audio-Technica AT875R. So it's a short shotgun microphone. It's actually made for like putting on top of cameras, like a digital a video camera, but it's a short shotgun microphone.
Everything in November. Ground runway 8.
That runs into a. That microphone feeds into a DBX 286S microphone preamp processor. So it feeds into this strip here. This strip does, it's the microphone preamp. I have the compression turned off, but it would do compression. I have the de-esser turned off, but it would do a de-essing. It adds a little bit of low frequency, a little bit of high frequency, and a little bit of noise gate. And then also has the amp on the outside. So if I do this, if I do that, I've just turned off this unit right here. So this is what the microphone sounds like without any of the amplification and the enhancement and whatnot. And you can probably hear some background noise and whatnot too from the lack of a gate. So there's that device. And then all of that runs into just an audio mixer, just a Behringer mixer. All of that runs into a 12-channel Behringer mixer. So on this mixer, I have two single-channel audio input lines for ATC and voice communication. So I have a volume knob for Discord. I have a volume knob for ATC. And then I have several inputs that are coming in. My main PC, my secondary PC, my microphone has an input into this guy. So the audio gets wide out of the DBX 286S. One side goes into the mixer, where I can turn volume up and down. I can play around with that right there. And the other side goes into a PreSonus audio interface that goes into my PC. And that way I can use the same microphone and the same audio setup for PilotEdge ATC and everything I'm doing within my PC as I can as I have here, as I'm using on the stream.
235 contact Oakland Center 127.45.
So yeah, that's all right.
2745 Iberia.
AT875R microphone feeding into a DBX 286S, and that's really it. Like those two devices alone will get you. You still have to have a way to get into your PC, but those two devices alone get you the sound that you hear. That's what's doing all the work. Is your Ortho Geo 2 or Bing? I'm using Bing. Crashed my first big RC Hilo into my house. Oops. Ella, good to see you, man. Ella is thick. Ella is thick. Have a great night, buddy. We'll see you. Or have a great day, I guess, for you. Adios. RC flying like real flying in the sense when you join a flying club, use field stuff, have stuff to supply your plane. Pilot Master wants to know what the second PC is for. I run a second PC that has the stream preview on it. It has Twitch chat. It has a few other things. So it's just another full computer that I have a keyboard and mouse for that is independent from my main gaming PC. Do you run video output off of the CPU X264 or GPU using NV encoder? I use neither of those. I run the video output out of my PC is a... if I pull up display settings, so the main PC has two monitors. So down below is the secondary PC. Up above is the second monitor for the main PC. So that's where I have like, if I drag a window over, that's where it's coming from. The main monitor, the one here in front of me, monitors 1 and 2. It's actually there's two outputs going out of the back of my video card. One of them is DisplayPort that goes to my main monitor, which I'm staring at right now. The other one is HDMI, which goes to my streaming PC that has an Elgato HD60 Pro. That HDMI Elgato HD60 Pro connection is what is a 1080p 60 capture card that then runs into OBS on my stream PC. So in the streaming PC is doing X264 out. Matt, that picture that you linked did not work. Please try again. Here that Bing Ortho Scenery is going downhill. Use USA 2 as a source. I don't think that's going downhill. I think it's just USA 2 is generally better right now. This URL not found here for 2 months. Thank you very much for 2 months of support. Mr. URL not found. He says, welcome back. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it. You guys are all too kind tonight. I appreciate all your support. It's been a good night. DV Lurie, you're very welcome. You're welcome to send me if you send me an email, host at catstrator.live, I can give you more information on the setup and whatnot. But the 286S is what's doing all the work. The DBX 286S is a $200 box, and it's totally worth it. Like it's such an amazing piece of kit for the kind of broadcasting and the kind of work that we're doing. And it does a really good job of getting the vocals sounding well. So that's the thing. Like and I keep peaking. I'm still adjusting audio levels and whatnot. I keep peaking because I'm not used to talking into a microphone, right? Because I've had the headset for a year and a half. But that's the thing that kind of makes the whole thing work. I gotta get Jeff Faviano to get one of those things. I think it sounds better than the audio box that he's using right now.
Quebec 1 Delta Yankee, turn left at 180.
Stealth Talon 4 here for 5 months. Welcome back, Ty. Hope you enjoyed the vacation. I absolutely did. Stealth Talon, thank you very much for your continued support. Cheers. USA is a pain in the ass to compile because they kill your connection. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I need to go through at some point and redo my ortho when I get ambitious. Ah, dude, that's a cool one too. Send me that link in a whisper, dude. Matt, send me that link in a whisper, and I can pull it up on the main PC here.
One Delta Yankee Clipper Fillmore.
Boy, I have no idea how to say that name. Aya Protan Katier. Aya Protan Katier. How do you say that, man? Welcome aboard. However you say your name. Happy Friday. It's good to see you.
Knock 17 on November radar
You
contact.
have me completely flummoxed on that one. I know 2 people who got permabanned from USA2 servers. They can still get images via VPN. Holy crap, dude. Who got permabanned from the USA2 servers? LA Pro Tank A tier. Okay. LA Pro Tank A tier. LA Pro Tank A tier. God. You should use capitals next time. Welcome aboard. It's good to see you. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. I like that name. I like it because I can't say it. There's you know what? Usually it's like once or twice a week somebody will come in here with a name where it's like, I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea how to say your name. Like, I think there was someone in Discord I think it was a Javier that I saw today. That I had called him like JPJ.
17 November SoCal departure.
I had called him JPJ like for the entirety of the time that he's been coming into this stream. And he's like, yeah, dude, you've been saying my name wrong the whole time. Like, well, why didn't you say something? But okay. Speaking of the Eclipse, friend and I traveled to get these.
17 November, remain outside.
Ian, can I show those on stream? Oh yeah, Ian, I saw those on Facebook, dude. Can I show those on stream, Ian? Let me know if I can. Yep. Okay. So Mr. Servin here captured some photos of the Eclipse, and I saw some of these on Facebook the other day. These things are like, this is the one I saw right here, which is freaking cool, dude. Like, that's a really cool picture. Like, all of these are neat. I love that one right there. There's just so much cool stuff that you guys can capture. Like, where technology is at now for this kind of photography just blows my mind. Like, that's just too cool. Nicely done, dude. Pick up the 1900D for X-Plane 11. It's good for FS economy fights. Yes, the 1900. Yeah. Oops, we're blowing the engines up.
717 Tango Sierra, center maintain, level 300.
Level 300, 7 Tango Sierra.
7 Tango Sierra, contact Albuquerque Center, 134.32.
And 3432, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. Have a great night. We'll head over there. Start taking ourselves down ever so slowly. Albuquerque Center, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, flight level 348, descending flight level 300.
November 717 Tango Sierra, Albuquerque Center, roger.
It's good to know. I have mostly East Coast on Doom level 16. You know what the limit is. I'm assuming Torb would be the person that, like, Torb and those guys would have a better idea than I would. Send me, hey, RC Flyer, RC Flyer, and
navigation.
I'm trying to pick the 25 and resume now.
Who's the other one?
20.
I want to say Matt, but that doesn't sound right. Matt, yeah, RC Flyer and Matt. Send me those 2 links via PM or via Whisper. I can pull those up on my other PC, or on the main PC, and see them. I don't have chat up on my main PC. Is this the first or second flight? This is flight number 2. So we've just started our descent down into Sedona. I need a screenshot.
Eclipse 7 Charlie Bravo, clearance available.
Ready for reback, 7 Charlie Bravo.
Let's do that. Let's see if that. I'm kind of okay
Eclipse
with
7
that.
Charlie Bravo, clear to the Camera Airport, Alpine 2 departure, Kickley intersection, direct, maintain 15,000. Departure frequency 133.25, squawk 6330, hold for release.
Flight number 2.
Departure is filed, maintain 15,000. Frequency 133.
Ian, did you guys travel somewhere? Like, did you weren't in New England for that,
6330,
right? Did you go somewhere to take those
Eclipse
shots?
7 Charlie Bravo, read back correct.
Jose Paco, welcome
call me
aboard.
this frequency, ready
Doing
for
very
departure.
well. How are you?
We'll contact you when ready departures. Enjoy, bye-bye.
F-33A is my favorite GA plane. I actually don't own that one. I own the 35, but I do not own the 33. 15 minutes. We're on our way into Sedona. Almost certainly we will get a visual approach.
November 7 Tango Sierra, descend and maintain flight level 190.
Flight level 190, 7 Tango Sierra. Alright, 19,000. Let's increase our rate of descent. We've dropped ourselves down to 2,000 feet per minute. Sedona's coming up here, less than 100 miles. And the weather at Sedona, winds are no, that's the time. Winds are 3006, 10-mile visibility, scattered 12,000, 30 Celsius. It's under 3006. So we're definitely going to get the visual. We were in the mountains around western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee. Got it. 5,200 feet. Nice, dude. RC Flyer, you just sent links for one of the planes that you have. Actually, I can look it up here. It's not actually you and your plane. I'm not going to... Ooh, yeah. That looks cool.
Second country 320, expect ILS runway 2L off departure.
Expect ILS at 28 left, Sun Country 320.
Ashman Media, welcome aboard.
Country 320, connect local approach 135.65.
135.65, Sun Country 320.
Pull the speed back, or pull the power back just a touch here. How's flight training going? XC Pilot, good to see you, buddy. I did my second and last night flight yesterday. I have 2.6 hours of cross country to do tomorrow. Probably going to be closer to 3 by the time I'm done with it. And then I'm on check ride prep. So roughly, so I have 2.6 hours of solo cross country. I have 3 hours of check ride prep to do with my instructor.
Local approach to center maintain 4,000.
Who was that? I have, like I said, sorry, I was trying to figure out, I thought he said SoCal approach. I was like, that's not quite right. So yeah, I have my check ride prep to do, 3 hours, and then I'm taking my check ride. So I think I will be taking my check ride probably, it depends on how scheduling and whatnot works, probably within the next 2 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 weeks. I have another trip coming up for business or for work in a month. So if I could get this all done, like if I could do everything on the 23rd of September, that'd be fantastic. Because that's the day before I leave. That's the day before I leave for my my trip. But I don't know. We'll see. It's either going to be by the 23rd of September or it's not going to be until like the 14th of October. I don't know which is which will be which. But yeah, we're well on our way, man. I am so excited to get this over with. I want to actually be able to like use my PPL. I want to be able to actually use my flying skills for something besides, you know, training. How well X Enviro would do in a hurricane? There was a guy that Plane Ben, Plane Ben, was streaming earlier in southeastern Texas in the hurricane. It did okay. It had some issues here and there, but it did all right for the most part. Stealth Talon asked what I thought of the DCI finals. Oh my god, dude, it was awesome. Like, actually, absolutely awesome. This was, in my opinion, the best DCI. Like, this is the best year for finals that I've seen in so long. Like we'll say 10 of the top 12 cores had shows that were just awesome. Just absolutely incredible shows.
November 7, Tango Sierra, connect Phoenix approach 126.37.
2637, Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra. Got Phoenix loading in right now, I think. 26. 26337. Sim's lagging up a little bit here. I think we're loading in downtown Phoenix. Planes and whatever else we got going on. I cannot wait till Laminar fixes that. Phoenix approach, Eclipse 717 Tango Sierra, flight level 247, descending flight level 190 with the Sedona weather.
November 7 Tango Sierra, Phoenix approach, Roger. Say approach request.
Just get us in. We'll take the visual approach for 7 Tango Sierra.
November 7 Tango Sierra, Roger. Descend maintain 17,000.
17,000, 7 Tango Sierra.
Secondary 320, turn right heading 020.
Down, down, down we go, all the way down to Sedona. I did get the picture, Matt. Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I like the plane. You guys have got a neat and probably very expensive hobby. What course did I use for my written? I used well, I actually studied, so I used the ASA test prep to prep for my written. I didn't actually take ground school. I just read books. I read the PHAC, I read the airplane flying handbook, and just general knowledge that I picked up over the years, you know, from simming and whatnot.
Eclipse
But I didn't actually do any like a formal course.
3 minutes, if not up in 3 minutes at fastest frequency, no later than 5 minutes of your intentions.
Does your superior studies relate to aviation? Are you referring to my day job? All right, Josh, I got the memo. Hang on a second here. I don't know if he's still in here. Are you asking if my previous, like, if my studies, like the studies I've done before I got into this stuff has prepared for aviation? So my degree in college was management. I'm a management major. So I would say that there's very little that I did in college that prepared me for any of the aviation stuff, aside from like just learning how to think and study and all that.
Delta 51, connect departure.
I don't know if that's not what you're asking, then I might need you to rephrase the question.
Iberia 235, descent pause discretion, maintain flight level 300.
All right, so 3006 in the altimeter. A little bit of a weather change there. Josh J. Gibbs just sent me a message, said he's going to stream tonight, so we're going to go say hi to Josh here once we're all finished. He's going to take us through the night. He's at Phoenix right now. Use the airplane flying handbook to prep for my airline interview. Yeah, dude, absolutely.
3000.
Like, I barely even read the airplane flying handbook. I read like 2 or 3 chapters of it, and then everything else got into things that I care about, but I can't worry about right now, right? The PHAC, the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, was is the go-to main source of everything that I cared about for flying. That book was super dry, but I read it cover to cover, and I would say that's where I got most of the book knowledge. I played the trumpet, Stealth Talon.
Country 320 is 3
K. Joe 111, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. Still working on Long Beach scenery. Nice. Long Beach scenery I have is getting a little long in the tooth. All right, 45 miles out of Sedona. Can't imagine getting the written done without a course. I'm not that smart. Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I study pretty well. I've been doing a lot of this. I've been doing a lot of this stuff virtually for so long. So after I read most of the PHAC, I took a practice exam and I scored a 55% without even studying. That was just, I read the airplane flying handbook, I read the PHAC, and I did a little studying here and there on miscellaneous stuff. I'd been flying for a bit, but I hadn't really dug into regulations or any of that. And still managed to score at 55%. So, but I think the simming has helped me prepare that stuff more than anything else. Because the simming taught me about airspaces. I learned about navigation. I learned about fuel calculations and kind of all that stuff. So a lot, and reading charts and whatnot. So a lot of that was
Eclipse 7 Tango Sierra, descend maintain 10,000.
10,000, 7 Tango Sierra. So a lot of that kind of stuff is the core of what is covered in the written exam. So it wasn't a huge, I don't know, this is me kind of yeah, I'm really good at this stuff, because that's actually not the case, but I'm lucky that I'm able to study pretty well. I considered firing up Sporties or something and doing ground school, but I was just I don't think I need it. I ended up using the ASA test prep, and I will say that was a great investment. Their test prep software was fantastic. They had really good explanations for all the answers. Here's why these answers were wrong, and here's why this answer was right, that kind of stuff. And when I showed that I could consistently score 80% or above for 3 tests, I could click a bunch of buttons, and they gave me my endorsement. So I didn't have to worry about getting an endorsement or anything like that.
So country 320 services.
Bet your instructors can tell you spend a lot of time in the sim. Yeah, my instructor reminded me very often initially that I was on the fast track. He still does. The sim has definitely saved me about 10 or 15 hours of flying time. Easily. Alright, start slowing this sucker down. A little bit here, not too much though. We should get the airport here fairly soon. We're 35 miles out currently. So we'll start keeping an eye out for it.
Iberia 235 Auckland Center descend via the Diamond 3 arrival. Service call altimeter 2983.
23.0 is CTAF. Got some clouds and whatnot up here though. These aren't supposed to be here. So have to wait till we get a little closer before we can cancel. Steve99, good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. Did you look at flight schools in OWD? I think about starting my PPL and OWD as my local. I didn't. This URL not found because for me to get to Norwood would be a gigantic pain in the ass. Like I'd be better off going to Bedford than Norwood. I live up on the North Shore, so I'm on the complete wrong side of the city for that. I looked at Beverly. I looked at Lawrence for my flight schools. There are some folks in here that have done stuff in Norwood. I believe Jack C15 has done a few lessons up in Norwood. He might be worth reaching out to.
124.85.
If you went to Reddit, I bet if you went to Reddit and asked about flight school at Norwood, I don't know. I would say just go do a discovery flight. Like cough up the $100 or whatever dollars. Go do a discovery flight. You'll know pretty quickly if you get along with that instructor or not. That was certainly my experience. My wife says good night. We'll see you soon. Not really, because I'm gonna play more video games.
Cessna 00 Alpha, report 3 mile left, base runway 25.
Tanner Man, welcome aboard. Kicker 5045. Welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers.
Remember,
Appreciate it.
473 to Charlie, Seattle Center, Roger. Advise you have the Astoria, correction, the Arcata.
McSheedy pilot was in Norwood. There you go. Is the main runway done in Lawrence? Yes. The main runway opened up about a month ago. Or the end of last month. Sorry, it was like I think August 1st was when the runway opened up. Actually, last night I was doing my pattern work on the new runway, so it's nice that it's finally there to not be stuck on the crosswind runway all the time. I don't mean to look rude, but how much is the PPL in the States? About $10,000. I'm gonna be like all in. All of my expenses are gonna be just under $11,000 by the time I'm all said and done. Are you serious? You gotta be kidding me. What the hell happened? It was just sitting there. What? Ripperonis indeed. What the hell? Was it the scenery that crashed? A random DSF? Like, what the... Well, that's a bummer. I see nothing that would indicate a problem of crashing, unless it's like this. Like, I don't know what this is. Well, there you have it. That's flight simming for you, right, guys? Yeah, so I haven't been to Norwood. Eccentric One says welcome back. I highly recommend M0A. All right. I've used King Schools and Sporties. M0A is the best. Good to know. M0A has a reputation on Reddit, but I don't know. It seems like I've read a few people that have used him and had relatively good things to say. I saw RC Flare. I saw that video of the Flight Chops did. Yeah. Well, all right, guys.
Retard.
And at that very moment, Pat Attack says, I'm going to subscribe to him. So Pat Attack 71, thank you very much for your support and welcome to the Beer of the Month Club. Cheers, my friend. Oh. I'm not upset, Vasco, man. I'm just like, it's like, dude, we were freaking 5 minutes away from being done with the flight. But hey, that's simming for you. So guys, we're going to go say hi to Josh Gibbs. Josh is either live or going live. Josh J. Gibbs is live, so this is who you're gonna go to. And yeah, I'm gonna go hang on his chat for a little bit. I might try to catch him on TeamSpeak or something, but I'll be there for the rest of the night. So guys, thank you very much for coming and joining. It's been an absolute pleasure. I can't do Wednesday because I have plans. I might try to do Monday and try to do something fun. Otherwise, we'll definitely be back next Friday. I just got to figure out the rest of the week if it's gonna happen. So I'll let you know in Discord if we do. So guys, have a great night. Thank you again, and toodles. We'll see you soon. Where's the music? Good night. It's the best I got.